Hello again and welcome to the Matt Black Podcast, episode 6. And I've got two very lovely guests with me today, Chloe and Naill from Sister Shotgun. Hello.
Hey, hi.
Are we all right?
Yeah, good. What an intro that was. I was just there just bopping away. I was like, I am so into this already.
Well, most people don't even kind of respond to it. They just look at it and they get confused because they think, oh, we're expecting metal music from you. And they've got to listen to a bit of funk and some random vines.
Listen,
from our younger years.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was a Vine person. I was always a Vine person. The quotes, just iconic.
My phone wasn't new enough for Vine. It wouldn't let me download it.
We were just talking before we started recording, didn't we, about none of us seem to know what our ringtones are on our phones. So everyone just has it on silent, vibrate.
Yeah. I don't want to hear my phone anymore. I don't want to know when people are trying to get hold of me. I'm just like, I'll get to you when I get to you.
Yeah, mine's rarely even on vibrate. It's just ringing out.
Yeah.
And I'm often watching it.
Yeah, it's one of those where you're like, somebody ring my phone, I've lost it. Well, I won't be able to hear it anyway.
Yeah,
so.
it's on silent.
I know that there's kind of technology now to kind of locate your phone as well, but I'm kind of just slightly too old to know what that's all about.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Find my phone? Absolutely fucking not. We'll just get someone to phone it, even though it's on silent, and you'll just listen to the vibrations coming from nowhere.
Yeah.
See, my wife will say that I would never be in a position to lose my phone because it's never out of my hand anyway. It's there all the time, even when I should be sleeping.
Oh, that's true. I'm the same
Headphones
way.
in.
Whereas my mum is terrible at it. My mum's got two phones. She's got one for work and one that's personal. And
I thought you were going to tell me it was like a burner phone.
Oh,
or
God,
something.
could
Yeah,
you
that's what I
imagine? Yeah,
thought.
my mum's a secret.
She's got a drug dealer phone.
Yeah.
No.
She drives a Fiesta ST.
One of the years, I think it was Christmas last year, she'd put her phone in the dishwasher and it had gone through a full cycle in the dishwasher. She's like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? Open the dishwasher. Found my phone. It's in the dishwasher.
Did it still work?
No.
Oh.
No.
Died to death, and it was a work phone as well.
They say to put it in rice, don't they? But they never said after putting it in dishwasher though. So
No.
At least it was clean.
before you hand it in,
Right.
Yeah.
brownie points for that. So how are we both doing? We've just had Christmas, New Year. What have you been up to over that time?
Yeah, good. I've been working a lot over Christmas and New Year because I'm a full-time musician, so it's kind of like doing the working men's clubs and stuff like that. I've been up and down, really. Where did I play? I've been in Sheffield. I was Sheffield Christmas Eve, and then New Year's Eve I was in Leeds. Just a couple of working men's clubs. They get a bit rowdy. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, I did the same over Christmas. Had about 13 shows. Did
Nice.
a duo show with my wife New Year's Eve, so nice and local. We won't go too far because I think where are you based anyway?
Birmingham.
So it's a trek, isn't it?
Little
Leeds?
bit, yeah.
I think if I'd done a New Year's Eve gig in Leeds, even from here, I'd be like, oh, gonna get in at 3. And I'm just, after lockdowns and things like that, I'm so used to being tucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I've had a story read to me by 8 o'clock and I'm
Ready for bed.
yeah, should be sleeping, but flicking through reels, as we've
Yeah.
been talking about
Oh, God,
before we
yeah.
started. We're all trying to adapt to all this new kind of stuff that's coming along through Facebook and Instagram, but I've been looking and I'm thinking, you guys, you've got like quite a good output on social media.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, individually, yeah. I think band-wise, something we definitely need to work on.
We are very lazy with social media.
Mm.
But it's one of those, it's like, nowadays you have to be a social media expert as well as a musician.
Because
You
it's
know,
time consuming, isn't it?
Yeah.
You
So-
need to know the way to make things happen very quickly.
Yeah, that's it. And it's like, so I've got to go play guitar and then go, oh, algorithm, quick. Yeah, like, and you see so many bands get huge from it, but it's just, I find it a slog, me personally. But
Yeah. We've got a bit more of a kind of head start than some people because obviously, I mean, I'm a guitarist as well, but obviously not a very good one. But we because we're guitar nerds, we tend to be IT nerds as well. So because we like a bit of tech and a little bit of a gear, but it's almost now I get to an age where I'm like, I've just stepped off the bus and I'm a little bit behind now. I don't really know what's going on. I need to kind of figure it all out. And then AI's coming in now.
Oh.
So
Oh,
it's like,
God. Yeah, it's coming for all of our jobs now.
yeah. Soon we won't have to actually turn up and do a gig.
Yeah.
It'll
I
just
know.
be some kind of software doing it for us.
I know, it's awful. Although there have been some gems that I feel like have come from AI. Like, I heard the other day someone had like AI'd a version of Ozzy Osbourne doing a Shania Twain song, and it was one of the most awful but one of the best things I've ever heard.
My phone likes to pick every song done by Plankton from SpongeBob.
Yes, but there was such a good song. Somebody had done that, but had written like a metalcore song with like Plankton singing it. It was great.
Yeah, it's just like Pantera sang by Plankton.
Planktera.
Yeah.
I've seen all the Hetfield ones.
Yeah.
I never thought it would be possible, but his voice suits everything.
Yeah. I think it was last Christmas I heard him do with the AI thing, and it's so good. It's so good. I don't know why, but I need
to listen to this now.
Yeah.
I've missed out on James Hetfield AI.
Oh, it's great. It's really good. They all are. There's not a bad one.
Would it weird you out hearing your voice?
If it was mine, yeah, absolutely. It would freak me the hell out.
Yeah,
it really would.
That somebody could replicate your voice.
Yeah. No, I don't like it.
I get freaked out just hearing my own voice back anyway.
Yeah.
But like,
is that what I sound like?
Yeah, I never knew I could sing that song. Yeah, it'd be mad.
It is really weird.
Yeah, strange.
So you could actually save on costs now, because now you've got most recordings with Chloe's voice.
Yeah.
You could actually get rid of her.
Yeah.
And just create as many albums as you like.
Yeah, and then just have a cardboard cutout.
Listen, if I'm getting royalties, I can sit back and do whatever. I really don't care.
It's your voice, so yeah.
Oh, AI can write it for you and go, well, if AI thinks you can sing it, so can you.
There's a lot of artists doing that now, isn't it? I know that Ellie Goulding had said that her last album was pretty much mostly AI lyrics.
Oh, really?
And she just kind of laughed it off that it was a bit of a throwaway, yet the catchiest stuff she's done.
Yeah, that's mad.
So bad.
Yeah. We just been on holiday, and when I was on the flight out, there was a guy a couple of seats on the other side in front of me, got his laptop out, and I could see he'd got the chat GPT on one screen, and then next to it on another little tab he was writing some kind of thesis. And I was like,
No.
wow, like, does anyone actually think for themselves anymore now?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why South Park were taking the piss out of it, because in it the kids are doing all their homework using ChatGPT,
Yeah.
but then the teacher is marking it with ChatGPT, because apparently these things are happening in some parts.
Well, yeah, but I wonder whether they're going to have to bring in certain rules now, especially when you're in uni and you're doing like your dissertations and stuff, whether or not they've got to look at the counterfeit, whether it comes under plagiarism or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, before it was quite easy because there'd just be a few examples of other people's work they'd uploaded and maybe 3 books you could work from.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, they're gonna copy one of those at some point. So, but now you just have to put like just a mixture of keywords in, and all of a sudden it just comes up with something completely unique.
Yeah.
It's terrifying, actually.
It is terrifying. It is, because I feel like as a society, it just kind of means everyone's just going to get dumber.
Yeah.
Is
Really?
that possible?
Because no one's really thinking for themselves,
Yeah.
which is scary.
People also do it with tattoos as well.
Stop it.
So like they send you one and they're like, oh, I want this, and you're like, that is so like insane and realistic. How the hell could I do that? You can tell because there's like 6 fingers on something, but they do it on tattoos as well, and you're like, that's not possible.
You'll have robots taking your job at the end of the day soon.
Oh, what, strap
Like-
your arm in? And
Yeah,
just...
yeah. Well, I've seen videos of like them doing like the prototype tattoo robots,
Yeah.
and they'll do it more accurate than a person.
Oh, that's horrible.
That's scary, right?
Yeah, because I suppose if a tattooist is having like a tired day or whatever, then you might get a bit of a unsteady family portrait. Of, you know,
So we're all gonna
you know,
have
my
to.
dog's died, but suddenly it looks like a dinosaur.
So we're literally all gonna have to become technicians for these machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is your job. Yeah,
Basically.
maintaining the machine.
All our best oil up the AI tattoo thing.
Why? What are you doing with it? No, I am slightly worried. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit too perfect though, isn't it? Sometimes the imperfections I like. So I'd spent a lot of time kind of being in a bit of an AOR scene for a while, and
Yeah.
everything had to be perfect. You know, do that take again, do that again.
Yeah.
Every little part of the phrasing, it has to sound very polished. And then once I started going back to the kind of alt metal type of scene, it's like, well, I want my voice to break in that part. You know, it makes it sound more emotional and things. So
Yeah.
it's I don't think you can replicate that
No.
with a machine. Not yet, but
No.
maybe we're safe in our lifetime.
I hope. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Well, they definitely said that they were putting a cap on it because it was getting a bit insane.
Yeah,
or
I
something.
know.
But they said we need to like stop some things because it's just getting a bit much.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, before we get to like Skynet stages.
Oh,
Absolutely not.
I just think of iRobot all the time. I was like, this is what's going to happen.
And that were a long time ago, weren't it? That
Yeah.
film, you know.
God,
that's-
yeah.
But both of those films.
Yeah,
Did they do a second one?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think it was just the one.
Just the one.
Yeah, but that was like, that's the future. They can become sentient beings,
No, absolutely not.
and then, you know, everybody's horny, so they try and sleep with these robots first. That's where it begins.
But that's the other scary thing, is if they end up having like AI and sex robots, like, you know, you can get these like real girl things.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
And
That's
they
how
I've
it
add
gets
to
seen
AI.
started.
Lad Bible's posted about those, haven't they? Where they actually sell those robots, and they're very human-like, and they'll program them to say the person's name and have a certain personality
Yeah.
and give responses that person likes. Not just obviously for those purposes, but to be like a girlfriend in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, what was that? There was a film where they had like an AI wife, and she's attached to just the house.
Oh, is it she? Was it?
Oh, I can't remember.
That sounds very 1940s. It's
And-
just attached to the
Yeah.
house.
So it's,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, alarm goes off if she leaves the kitchen.
so all around the house, it just trails like a little train track.
Built-in
And then
wife.
he has this ability or something to set her free so she can be a real wife. And she starts asking if she could leave the house, and he's like, "What?"
Why would you want to? No,
Yeah.
this is just... It's just... I feel like AI hopefully will rein it in, but at the moment I feel like it has the possibility to go too far. Where it could...
As long as it's not coming up with like creepy film ideas like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just sick human minds that kind of come up with that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything's just like gone in different directions now. I mean, like all through like the last few years, we've had kind of just a massive influx of all these CGI films, where to a point where there's actually no real stage sets anymore,
Yeah.
and then so actors don't really have to do much other than have the facial expressions because they've got all these little dots all over their bodies, and they make 'em make them look like they're Hulk Hogan
Well,
and doing backflips
Yeah.
on mountains.
actors are selling their faces to AI and everything. Like, they've had like studios that like, would you sign up for AI so like they could replace them as well?
Yeah, I suppose you could just scan them once and then just make these films.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I didn't know I was in that film. Oh, well.
Yeah. But it's awful, though, because it means then the studio can get away without paying the actor then
As much.
Yeah.
to do it. I think it's like a one-off payment. They'd pay them for their likeness, like, once, and then that's all you get, and then they have access to your likeness to use it however they want, which is so scary.
Yeah, see, when I was growing up, it was like the camera never lies, and now it definitely does.
Oh,
yeah.
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 We know that just with Snapchat filters. There's
Oh, God,
all,
yeah.
all the catfishing in the world.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I'm so glad I'm just like old, married, and past it. So I would hate to be an 18-year-old now.
Yeah.
Oh, like being
Yeah,
at
me
school,
too.
you could like fake so many things, couldn't you? Like, think about bullying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
School now would be terrifying.
Well, I had friends like they'd always go, "Oh yeah, I had a girlfriend when we went to Skegness for 2 weeks," and they'd come back and say, "Yeah, we couldn't keep in touch." Oh, did you really? But like now, you'd have to prove it now.
Yeah,
'cause
show
it's
us a
social
picture.
media. Yeah, you would have been posting pictures with this person for 2 weeks.
Yeah, like I wonder if as well, if like the more followers you've got on Instagram or something, determines your popularity at school as well. Like, oh yeah,
Maybe.
but he's got like 20,000 followers.
I don't know,
That's a
because
thing now.
that's when it gets a bit creepy. When we're talking about kids and, like, followers and stuff, like, to me, then that becomes a bit weird, because if, you know, a teenager has such a big following, it's like, who is following this teenager?
They're not
like,
all
this is...
school children following
Yeah.
them, are
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
There's adults following.
Because it was MySpace when I was at school,
Oh, yeah, no, I was massive on MySpace.
and I'm pretty sure nobody at my school, except for my mates, had my MySpace or could even find it.
See, that
So-
just started coming in MySpace as I was leaving school. The first social media I got was one called Face Party when I was about 14, 15.
Wow.
Okay.
It looked very much like Facebook because I'm 38 in March. So,
Stop it.
So they, this thing called Face Party, you could only upload a limited amount of photographs, and you can only send so many messages a day.
No way.
And people could rate each other things, and it had these little clip art images, so you could rate someone like a fox or a beefcake, and it had some little like tan
No,
stud
that's so
giving
funny.
it the flexing kind of thing. And then you could buy this thing, and me and some of my friends used to laugh about it. We even in recent years, because we look back and think, why? And it was $4.99 a month, and you could buy a thing called Cool Tools.
Okay.
So you could send unlimited messages to people.
Okay, no way.
Oh my god.
Brilliant, yeah. I used to just spend ages on HTML trying to make my MySpace look really cool.
Oh my god, yeah.
I could get it animated. I'd have an intro tune. It was like you
Yeah.
were a wrestler. It was great.
It's like people think that computer programming is hard. I computer programmed my whole MySpace, and you felt like a proper hacker. You were like,
yeah, redesigning
writing
the
it,
whole
yeah.
website.
Did you have a song playing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God,
on
yeah.
entry. What,
absolutely.
what was it?
Oh, knowing me, it was something really emo. It was probably like My Chemical Romance or something.
Oh, I used to change mine all the time.
Yeah, I used to change mine a lot.
And then like death metal bands used to add me on there, and I did not know why. And then some of them are huge now.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I think I discovered what are they called? Like Fit for an Autopsy or something on there years ago.
Wow.
And then people got really into it. Escape the Fate when Ronnie Radke was in it.
Right.
I used to have that as my theme tune. I think.
Really?
The Guillotine, I think.
Nice.
So they were all like school leavers around that time, weren't they? They'd all
Yeah.
got the sweep over fringe
Yeah,
over
yeah.
one eye, jet black hair, nails.
Niall's sweep over fringe. I remember the pictures.
Yeah, I had a
You
sweep
had
over
sweep
fringe.
over fringe, and then like the spikes, the Karen hair.
Yeah. I think that lasted about like 3 months, and then I discovered Motley Crue. And I was like, yeah, man. You spiked the top instead.
See, I went that way. I had like a bit of a sweep over fringe as a teen, then started growing it early 20s, and then it just said, I'm going to start thinning now. So I had to have it cut short, and then the sweep over fringe was the only option.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, well, that's the last hairstyle I ever had.
Yeah.
I didn't have many options.
I remember my dad used to say, you're all going to have one eye smaller than the other, not letting the light get to it, and all this. Like, how are you supposed to play guitar with one eye? So,
Love that.
Well, Jeff Healey, Stevie
Yeah.
Wonder,
Yeah.
they play everything, and they've not got one optional.
I was like, Slash can't see anything, surely.
Yeah.
It's just curly hair.
And I'm pretty
Just,
sure back in the day, even without the hair and the sunglasses, he probably couldn't see 3 foot in front of him
Oh,
anyway.
that's
No,
true.
no.
Man was so pissed up.
Yeah.
I've seen the videos. I thought they were actually slowed down on YouTube. He's actually just playing Welcome to the Jungle and Sweet Child of Mine very, very slowly. In his pants
Yeah.
on stage.
I saw one where he's playing with Michael Jackson, and they're telling him to stop. Slash is solo, and he won't stop. And then
Yeah, I've
Michael
seen
Jackson's
that.
like, "Stop! Hey, woo!" He just starts dancing,
Yeah.
like to be like, "Okay,
The most aggressive, like, kind of thrust at him and
Yeah.
crotch grabs.
yeah." And then I think he boots one of the roadies because they come try and drag him off, and he's like, "No."
I love
God.
stage tantrums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had one?
No. No. I can't say. I've had stage injuries, but not stage tantrums.
Yeah.
I think probably stage tantrums to myself, inwardly, or when my back's turned, maybe. I don't know. But other than that, like that one time you stood on my lead and it turned into like, just split. Like
Oh
that.
shit! Yeah, I
was like,
remember
oh my
that.
God. She just walked over, stomping around in her big goth boots.
I've had stage injuries where Jake's kind of turned his guitar and his PRS hit me in the eye and blacked my eye.
Shit.
No.
But I've never really had like stage tantrums. The only thing I've ever done once where we've played I don't even remember what it was called. I'm probably not going to mention it even if I do. But we played a festival with FAHRAN and it was not the greatest. And my in-ears were in for repair, so I couldn't use my usual setup. So I was like having to use the monitors, which were really, really terrible, and everything was just not good. Crackly leads, all sorts. I didn't want to be there. I still put on the show as if we were happy.
Yeah.
But on the inside, I was just like, there was fire in my soul. And then as soon as we finished, I thought, I've got no gear to tackle down, and I'm in my own car. So I just literally just said thank you and just didn't even do like a mic drop, like tossed the microphone to the side, which is a proper arsehole thing to do because obviously it belongs to someone else. And if it was mine, I'd be fuming. And I just said thank you, good night, threw it over to the other side of the stage, and just walked straight out the venue while the guys were still doing all the cymbal wash for the big ending. They'd not even. My car was coming out of the car park as I heard them go bang.
No way.
For the last bit, and I was already kind of 20 foot up the road.
Oh my god.
I think yours is pure injuries.
It is. Do you remember? I think the worst one was we were doing a battle of the bands for HRH.
Sheffield, wasn't it?
Yes, and we were doing the intro. I was kind of really going for it on the intro, and I don't know how this even happened, but I must have tripped over something, and I went down like a sack of shit. Woof, ended up like yeeting Rob's frigging cab over the other side of the stage.
Yeah, because it was on wheels. I thought it was like the noise you made. I thought it was feedback. Because it was just like, and it was like boom, and then all of a sudden you couldn't hear Rob's guitar, and then you just see like the amps just wheeling itself away, and he's just pulling it back. I didn't even see you fall over.
Oh no,
He's
it
not
was
got
bad.
locks on the casters.
I don't know, it just rolled off. She headbutted the cab and the head, and it rolled off.
Straight down. But I had to get straight back up and like continue what we were doing because we were halfway through this song, and I was like, if I can try and style this out, we might not lose this thing. We lost this thing.
Yeah,
we did not win.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty damn embarrassing.
Yeah, I remember. I don't remember seeing it. You just like, I can't believe it. I screwed up so much. I was like, what happened? I was like, I fell on my face. I was like, what? Oh. I thought it was feedback.
Nope.
See, I injure myself a lot, but it's always before or after. We played with the Rock Set tribute in Grimsby, and literally 5 minutes before we went on stage, I was like, you do that kind of, best go for a precautionary piss, just in case. Don't need to go, but you just got to go.
Oh, yeah.
2-hour
Safety
show. Yeah. So I went in, did that, and then like tried to unlock the door, and it wouldn't unlock. So I'm shaking away with my left hand, which is my fretting hand, and then the bolt opened and just cracked my nail in half, which is obviously the thumbnail that I'm going to hold the plectrum with. And it was just shit. My hand was shaking, and there's blood running down it. And then I'm like, put a load of electrician's tape around it, which was fine for the first 3 songs. And then it just got sweaty and come off. And then every time I kind of like, oh no, it was this hand. Sorry, tell a lie, it was this hand because it was a plectrum. So every time I tried to like play the top strings, it was pulling the nail apart because it kept catching it. So I having to play really weird at an angle.
No.
I remember when we were going on tour and we got in the van, and as I got in, my fingers hadn't left the one bit, and somebody slammed the sliding door of the van straight on it. That was so painful.
I did that to my brother once in the boot of a car when he was a child. We'd just finished playing football as children, and I shut the boot, didn't see his hand there, and it was stuck.
Oh, I can do you one better than that. So when me and my brother were children, I was in the car. My brother was walking towards the car. I thought he was a lot further away than he was. Went to close the door, shut the car door on his head. Ended up in the hospital with a fractured skull. He's absolutely fine now. He's great.
Didn't you weigh his head?
Yeah, his head's like so heavy. His head's like a stone.
we used to go to school with a kid. I'll not say his name. He had the biggest head I've ever seen in my life, and we all used to kind of say like, because he had this moped, and he used to go. I'd go to work somewhere, a drive-through. Still not going to mention it at the place, and his head was massive with this helmet on as well. God knows, it must have been like a triple XL. I've got a large motorbike helmet. That's because my head's quite big. It grew from my hair, but he's got this double XL thing, and we'd always kind of like stand there and go, look at him, and we'd like pretend to put the head going, having to tilt to the side. He keeps having to push it up all the time, prop it up like a set of glasses on a drummer. Poor guy. No, I think other injuries I've done during gigs is probably I was unloading a van with an old club band, and I pulled a flight case out from because obviously when you've got it stacked in a van, it's like Tetris, isn't it? It's all photographs of the angles, everything went in. Pulled the flight case out, and this bass amp fell. Bass amp were fine because it landed on my big toe on my left foot.
No.
And my toenail just went black. And all my toe went purple.
Jeez.
Which is why my friend Joe calls me Matt Blacktoe, even to this day. Because once it healed up, I then dropped one of those old Acme Dynamo mirror stage lights on it while tackling it down on the same toe. So it was black again for another 4 years.
Jeez, man. I've had no luck with those toes.
See, I remember getting stung by like a bee or something on my hand, right? And it swole up so bad, it looked like Miss Piggy's hand. And that's why I started wearing fingerless gloves. Because I didn't want people to see a really round, fat hand while we were playing a gig. It was the same day.
Idea.
And I was like, look at that. And it was like round.
No.
Yeah, it's so bad.
I think one of my most embarrassing, and it was the worst timing possible. So we played Bloodstock like 2 years ago. Halfway through the set, and I was headbanging. I'd gone right over to Naill, headbanging, and I must have, my legs must have been at a really weird angle. Went back up for this headbang, and my knee just popped out of the socket, and all I felt was this searing pain. I was like, oh my God, what have I just done? Style it out. So here I am, just like limping across the stage at Bloodstock, just trying to style it out, going, oh my God, how am I going to get through this?
I love that when you get to like late 20s onwards, you can't just turn fast because things they just pop and click and or burn.
It was Dave. Dave was like, as soon as you hit 30, your knees are going to go. I'm like, ha ha ha. Of course he did.
He's not wrong. No, I'm 31 now. My knees go sometimes. I woke up the one morning, just turned my head, and it went crack. I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? So like, I couldn't like look left for ages. I was like, no.
Oh,
it's so bad.
Have you ever done that? Everybody's got their own kind of preference of pillows, quantity and thickness.
Oh yeah.
And I fell asleep on like all three of them at an angle, so my head was kind of pressing on my shoulder. I'd fallen asleep. I don't know how that had even happened. I think I might have like had a cold and propped myself up, and then just turned to that, and then woke up maybe 6 hours later, and just feeling like someone had like hit me with a sledgehammer on the side of the head. I'm like, could not turn my head.
Yeah.
Couldn't watch a tennis match.
Oh no.
It's no fun getting older.
No, it really isn't. It really isn't, especially when in your head you're still like in your early 20s. Like, I still feel like I'm like 21, and here I am about to be 32, and I'm like, when did this happen? I was 18 like yesterday.
Yeah, when I had to fix my motorbike, I couldn't use it for a while, so I was like, let's crack out the skateboard, good old times. I was like, this will be no problem.
Oh, no.
I was like, I definitely feel 30 now. I was so knackered, I had to stop off for a Lucasade. I was like, I used to do this all day, every day. I can't do it now, no.
Well, in lockdown, I was like, try and keep fit. I used to jump rope all the time as a kid. It was so much fun. And so I got this jump rope while we were in lockdown. Did about 2 or 3 rounds. I'm like, nah, how can't do it anymore. I'm like, what is wrong with me? When did I get old?
Yeah.
It's getting out of practice, isn't it? Because there's people far older than us, and they're just running marathons and lifting cars up for the fun of it. And
absolutely not. Could never be me.
I just go through these phases of like, my problem is I just kind of I'll get into something, and then I put everything into that and ignore everything else. So I'll have a moment of, I'm going to eat healthy, and I'm going to go to the gym, and I'll probably do something like, whether it be I'll go to a martial arts class or football, and I'll get really into it. I'll buy all the stuff again, spend all my time doing that, and then I'll go, oh, we're making an album now. Oh, sod everything else.
Yeah.
I'm just going to eat pizza every night because we're recording till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And drink loads of beer afterwards. And then suddenly it's like, jeans are tight. Change the hole on the belt.
Yeah, it's like...
why am I out of ref? And I'm just literally walking to the car.
Yeah, I joined the gym, hit it really hard, and I saw guitar online. I was like, oh, how much is that a month? It's the same amount as I spend on the gym per month. Yeah, bye-bye gym.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a nice guitar. It was worth it, though. It was worth it.
What's your your kind of weapons of choice at the moment in your live setup?
See, I don't know why I chose them, but Ibanez seemed to be my go-to. I think my dad gave me an Ibanez after I had like a crappy little Strat thing, and he was like, "Here you go, have this." I was like, "Oh yeah, wicked." I kind of just stick to Ibanez after that. I don't know why. I just like how they feel.
There's a lot of people they kind of there's a bit of a snobbery towards Ibanez at times, isn't there? Like I don't know, they say we've got to have a big thick piece of wood for tone and all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I've got an Ibanez in my little arsenal, and it was it wasn't an overly expensive one. I think it was like maybe 400 quid at the time. Probably worth 200 quid now.
Yeah.
It was like a RG series, like 320 FM and maybe 10 other letters.
Yeah.
They're such catchy names, aren't they, as well?
Yeah.
But it's the only Ibanez I've ever had, and I just love it. It's been through all sorts with me. I've had it modded, I've had kind of sustainiacs and stuff put in it. For non-guitar players, it's very Spinal Tap. It'll hold a note for us. Go and have a bite. You'll still be hearing that one.
Yeah, it's made of magnets.
Until the battery runs out on it. Yeah, it's kind of almost a lazy guitar player, really. I know a lot of well-known guys kind of use all that type of stuff. You know, DJ Ashburn, Steve Vai, and Phil Collin. They love all that stuff. And Sinister Gates.
And the slightly older generation call it an EBO, don't they?
Yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah. You hold it, is that what they used in With or Without You by U2?
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So
it's
it's basically replaced that.
Yeah, you don't need that now. You just pop a little button on your guitar.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's like you're talking another language to me. It's just gone.
Yeah. So Chloe, which hand do you hold your mic in?
Ambidextrous, would you believe?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a guitar nerd, but I don't practice as much as I should these days. I think again, it's one of those. I'll pick a couple of guitars up and just be like, oh yeah, I'm just loving it, playing everything, putting pedal boards together, playing with sounds, and just kind of getting lost in ambient noises and things like that. Love all this, and then don't touch it for ages, and then just lose all kind of speed or
yeah. But it's funny, it's like even you and I were having a conversation on the way up here about guitar stuff, and you were talking and I could kind of get the gist of what you were saying, but it was going over my head. I'm not even going to lie to you, I was not listening.
I always forget.
I do that. When I'm talking to Libby, my wife, I'll start talking about cars to her, and she just looks at me blankly and goes, know your audience.
Yeah.
She goes, I have no idea what you're talking about. but what colour is it?
But sometimes I just have to say it. It just has to come out.
Just to get it out. I know.
I don't care if you don't understand. Just listen. It needs to come out.
I've got multiple musicians on my Facebook who just post about the gear all day, and I'm there for it, and I'm liking all the posts and loving it, and other people are just going, no idea what you're saying, but the picture looks nice.
looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do one more though. Sorry, what's your amp and your kind of setup for the moment?
I am going to replace it with like the modern thing to do, which is getting like Kempers and things, because I'm the only one with
30s.
I'm the only one who still uses a head, so it's just me wheeling all this stuff in. Everyone else is like nicely compact.
Everyone's got a pencil case.
Yeah. So I've got like a Laney Ironheart.
Mm-hmm.
I think I picked it because Killswitch and Tony Iommi use them. I was like, okay, that's good. Yeah, I use that. And then I've got a Devon Townsend like Ocean Machine, which just gives you that spacey like thing, but it's just impossible to use. It's either use it all the time, the whole time, or just turn it off. So I thought
it was like no in between.
I thought I could switch between banks and things, but it's like no, it's like all or nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then just got like the Horizon drive, that periphery.
Oh, the precision drive.
Yeah.
Why can I not say that? Precision drive.
Precision.
Yeah. So
I've literally had 4 mouthfuls of beer.
Because obviously it's just it's like a tube screamer with a gate. I was like, yeah, that'll do. I'll use that. So apart from that, not much else. Just distortion, delay, things like that, really.
Yeah, I love effects and stuff, but I get too carried away with them when I shouldn't be allowed to have them, because I just start putting things in places where they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Story of my life, really.
I just started getting addiction to buying all these pedals, especially these mini ones. I was
Yeah,
like,
they're just
"Oh."
fun, aren't they? Just to toy around with in the house. Even if you're not going to use them live, you just think, well, it was 30 quid.
Yeah, you're like, shimmer verb. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'll buy things that they're probably the same thing, but they just look different. They've got a different pattern on the pedal, and they've got a different name, and they've described it as something slightly different, but
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
And
I love it.
everything in the guitar world always has the word clarity in it.
Yeah.
It's like, got the most clarity. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
everything's got clarity.
It's got a cut. It's got a cut.
Yeah, every guitar like pickup that you could ever buy, this one is balanced. It's got the best clarity ever. And you spend ages wiring it in. Like, sounds a bit crap.
Yeah.
It just cost me 150 quid.
Sounds the same.
Yeah.
You've got to be kind of persistent with it and just keep trying, haven't you? You can't just assume that it's going to sound amazing straight away. There's tons of trial and error. The guys that sit for hours and hours on end playing with stuff just to make a 30-second YouTube video,
God, I know.
you know, they've got to put that time in to do it. No one just knows how to use stuff, surely.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing as well is like being like a metal guitarist is like you're like, oh, let's see what this review's like, blues scale, and then like these dudes all playing blues constantly. I was like, I don't know if that's any good for me or not.
Yeah.
Like this like, I don't know, super uber metal tone, and you're like, oh, this sounds good, and some guy goes dee-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Been playing a semi-hollow Gretsch while he's doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
He's got a
exactly.
flat cap on.
Yeah, he's using soap bar pickups.
Yeah.
You know? And you're like, okay, I don't know. Why are you reviewing it? I don't know.
Very helpful.
Chloe, I apologise for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
At some point, I thought this might happen.
I'm aware of it though. That's the main thing, isn't it? I'm gonna keep capping it every now and then because I will get carried away.
To be fair, I did start teaching you bass years ago, and you picked
Years
it up
ago?
straight away.
Yeah, but I was like 18. This was like 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
A very long time ago.
I was like, do you want to learn
Although,
to play guitar?
in the past couple of years, I have been... So I used to work in a piano bar, and one of the stipulations of working in this piano bar was you had to learn how to play the drums. And so I can now kind of play the drums. I wouldn't say I can play. I'm not great. I can hold a great rock beat. I can hold a steady beat. But that's all you get in throughout every song you ever play.
Any fills?
No, well, I can do a build up. I'm like do, 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 shh, and then back into your rock
As long
beat.
as you're coming back in on the beat,
Exactly.
it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You don't look comfortable though.
No, I'm not.
You're very stiff.
I'm riding by the seat of my pants the whole time. I'm like, don't fuck up, don't fuck up, don't fuck up, and we're good.
Yeah, very stiff drummer.
Yeah, this room's getting a bit of a reshuffle at some point later this year because there is going to be a little electric kit coming in at some point. Because I can play, like you, I can play a basic few beats, a few fills, then a few questionable ones as well, and that's it. But I'm not going to do anything with it, it's just purely for me.
I'm the only guy in the band, well, person in the band, that can't play drums. Everybody else
Wait,
can.
can you not? I thought you could.
I'm left-handed, so everything's backwards.
Yeah.
So like,
Is a left-handed person?
I'm left-handed writing, but I play guitar right.
Yeah, I was
play
going to
guitar
say, you
right-handed.
play guitar right.
my dad forced me. He's like, they look ugly. Why would you want a left-handed guitar? And I was like, I don't know. And he didn't want to buy me guitars, so he just like kind of went, here you go. Here's one of my old guitars I don't like anymore. You can have that.
They're more expensive as well, aren't they? So it's probably
Yeah.
saved you some money. in
But
the
he was
long
like,
run.
just look at it. It's backwards. It looks horrible. I was like,
But
okay.
because I'm like a bit weird with it, so it's like because I'm scissors right hand still,
okay.
Oh.
and I'm right-footed at football, but then I would arm wrestle right-handed but throw left-handed.
Okay.
And I don't know if I've mentioned this on like a previous episode, but I'm just terrible at bowling because I can't figure out which hand to use because this one, the left hand feels like it should be the accurate one, but it's my weaker arm, so I just probably don't even get actually down the lane. It just stops halfway through, and then
One thing.
or I can throw it over my head with my right arm.
See, for me,
Knock out a friend.
it's when somebody gives me a fork and a spoon. I do not know. I get lost. I'm like, they're both left-handed instruments to me. I can't have a spoon in this hand. Mess with my head.
I suppose it depends if you're eating
Or
kind of soup or chips, really. So
Yeah, it's like
Right.
because people give you a fork and a spoon with spaghetti or something. So you're supposed to twizzle it on the end of the
No,
spoon.
I don't get that. I think that's weird. Don't use a spoon for spaghetti. It's weird.
So I'm like,
I would only use that for kind of like leftover sauce, unless there's garlic bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a mopping up
But
session.
even
yeah.
I just
yeah.
I don't like using spoons. Is that weird? Like, I will use a fork for everything that you're meant to use a spoon for, unless you're eating soup, but I'm not a soup person.
Okay.
I know, that was the weirdest thing I think that's ever come out of my mouth.
But she eats dry cereal.
Yeah.
I've heard and like seen people doing that. It's not something that's ever appealed to me.
Yeah.
I just don't like soggy food. Like, it's just
You've
not
got
meant
to
to
eat
be
as fast
soggy.
as you can. Eat it as
No.
fast as you can. Heartburn is worth it.
Yeah. Like, she doesn't like gravy. She's up north, so we won't say
Yeah,
that too
I
loud.
know.
Yeah, don't
If
mention
I,
it to anyone. This'll go out when you've gone home
Yeah.
anyway.
I
You'll
know,
be safe.
right?
She says it sends, like, you spend all that time roasting a potato to make it soggy. That's what she said.
No, that's it. You've got to eat fast.
Yeah.
No, it's just a big no from me. Just a big no
I
from
could just
me.
eat just gravy.
Oh, no.
Oh, for me, it's got to have the consistency of custard as well.
Yeah, thick.
Yeah, if someone puts it on and it looks like radiator water, I'm like, no.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
just not eating this. Everything's, like you say, everything's got to be crispy, but it's got to be soft through. I'm so picky with Sunday dinner. But we'll see. I'm counting down to 40 now. We've just pulled the trigger on an air fryer, so
They
We
will
got
one. Loving
change
it.
your life.
I got one for Christmas, and I tell you what, it's brilliant.
Oh, we've got 2, so we've got 3 drawers where I am. So you can do a whole meal in your air fryers. It's amazing.
I just have one, and then my girlfriend likes everything to be pink, so it's bright pink.
oh,
So yeah, we'd like put some pigs and blankets in there. Let's see how
Pigs
that
and blankets
goes
in the air
down.
fryer.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
see, I got the
Absolutely
dual
perfect.
draw one just because since 2018 I've been veggie, and then my wife never ate veg until we got together. She's just ate all the meat and eggs non-stop, and then in recent years she's just kind of started coming around to eating vegetables, and only if they're kind of incinerated to an inch of its life, where it's so soft. You know how you would make it for old people in a retirement home,
Okay, yeah.
so they can chew it with the gums.
Through a straw.
Yeah, so we're prepping ourselves for later in life.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the consistency we're working with here.
Love that. But I can relate. Like, I'm a total carnivore. Like, just give me meat and carbs and I'm happy. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Meat and carbs.
I remember seeing you put barbecue sauce on a roast dinner. That upset me
Oh,
so much.
I've talked about this before as well. Like, I know someone that puts red sauce on Sunday dinners, on Chinese takeaways.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And I love red sauce, but there's a
There's
line.
a time and a place
Yeah.
for ketchup. There is.
Yeah, but barbecue sauce you put on everything. Fish
No,
finger
I
sandwiches. A lot. I was waiting for you to put it on cereal at one point. Right,
No,
here
No,
listen,
make it
that's
soggy.
a step too far. Leave me alone.
we go. I've never known anybody
me
love
have-
barbecue sauce. so
Let me have my strange eating habits.
So the soggy food situation, is it only food that started off kind of hard and crispy and turned soggy?
Yes.
Or can it be soggy? Can you eat a peach? or a 2-week-old pear?
Ooh. No, I'm good with fruit. Like, things that are meant to be soggy, great.
Okay, yeah.
But, like, if it's meant to be crispy and then all of a sudden you've just, like, made it soggy, my brain just is like, nope, absolutely not.
I'm just thinking of like someone listening to this podcast that on a loudspeaker, and then someone just coming in the room and hearing this part of the show, thinking, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Listen, I cannot be the only person who feels this way.
No, I get it, because I'm just such a picky eater.
Yeah, I am,
We're
massively.
terrified when we go anywhere outside the UK, because we're like, what do they eat? Is there things for me? You know, like, because obviously I'm veggie, but then I won't eat mushrooms and I won't eat cucumber and certain things like that. So there's certain stuff that most vegetarians would be like, yeah, that's beautiful, and I'm like, well, the option's gone. I went to a friend's wedding last year abroad, and the vegetarian option that they'd put in for me was some kind of mushroom risotto.
It's always
No,
mushroom.
It was
it
just-
is, it's always mushrooms.
And
yeah.
I felt really bad, so I just kind of like lived off bread for the rest of the day.
Oh no! But do you like eat all like the fake meat stuff?
I ate a lot of it when I started. I still eat it, but I'm trying to cut down on it a bit because it's quite processed still, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I never really changed it for health reasons, but I'm a bit freaked out by the crap that goes into any kind of food at the moment.
Yeah.
Nothing's safe anymore, is it?
It's like watching a hot dog being made. You're like, why is it grey?
Right.
And it's like,
Have you seen the video of them showing the process of it, and Snoop Dogg's been showing it?
That's it. Yeah.
And he's trying to figure out what it is. He's like, is it cotton candy? Is it taffy? What is it?
Yeah. And it's like, it's a hot dog.
I know, but it's the same with the chicken nuggets. The McDonald's chicken nuggets. Like, if you saw how processed they were, disgusting. Will I still eat them? Absolutely.
To be fair, my favourite thing is Snoop Dogg narrating nature.
Oh yeah.
If anybody's going to take over David Attenborough, I
It's
want it to
gotta
be
be
Snoop
Snoop
Dogg.
Dogg.
Yeah, it's so good. It's brilliant.
And you've got to let him smoke a few before he starts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can just hear all the crisp packets in background.
Yeah.
He's whispering as a tiger's kind of sneaking up on a deer, but then you can just hear this. He's got the munchies 20 minutes into the show.
Bought one of my friends a Snoop Dogg cookbook for like Christmas and stuff. And then halfway through it, I was flicking through it, and it's like high snacks, and he rates crisps, and then rates chocolate bars. So he was like, if you're just flicking through, you can cook this, and it's got like Martha Stewart and stuff like that in it.
Oh yeah, because he and Martha Stewart are actually really good friends.
Yeah.
I can't remember how this came about, but they're actually really good friends.
Yeah. She was in prison.
She
for
was in
something.
prison.
Yeah. That's it. She's
She
a badass
was, yeah.
bitch. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Martha Stewart.
It's weird how sometimes you find out that certain celebrities are friends. Like in your mind, it just certain. You think, well,
yeah.
the film people stay with the film people, and the musicians stay with the.
Yeah.
But they all go to the same parties, don't they, and stuff like that. So it's like certain awards and different events, and they're going to cross paths, and actors are going to kind of think, well, yeah, I want to be friends with that rock star or whatever, and yeah, they're just going to kind of. I don't know. I can't feel like I'm rambling, but I'm just like, my brain's going, I know that like Ricky Gervais is friends with Johnny Depp, and it's like,
Mad, isn't it?
yeah, it's like you've got somebody who's like this cool chiseled guy, and then you've got the little pudgy comedian, but for some reason Ricky's the boss in that friendship.
Yeah. So John Travolta's really good friends with Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah. Like he's like he posted about being backstage as like good friends and all this. Like.
No way.
So Ed Sheeran is apparently going to sing on a Cradle of Filth song.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I read that today. I was like, how's that going to
But
work?
they've had that in the works for a couple of years. I know Danny Filth has posted about that a couple of times.
Yeah, but it's like Ed Sheeran and black metal.
Yeah, he's like, well, yeah, because he probably just loved that type of music still.
Yeah.
We're doing whatever we're doing, it took off, and then I suppose, but the music you're putting out doesn't always completely define you and your taste, because I'm sure you guys listen to other things.
Oh yeah.
It's just mad that you think, oh, do you know what? We could do something together. It's like, listen to our music.
Yeah.
Somehow we'll make it work.
I saw that he'd played with The Darkness quite recently and got up with them.
Oh,
But
really?
I love
Yeah.
it. I just love it. It's like, he's obviously much larger than they are now. I mean, they were at that level when they first come out, weren't they? They were filling
They
up
were
huge venues.
Yeah.
But they, obviously they split for a while, so that kind of doesn't help with the popularity, does it? And the continual growth. But I love when people get so massive and then they still fanboy over other people.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Dave Grohl, I just love watching his face when he sees other people. Like, if he sees AC/DC or something like that, he's literally bouncing like a little kid in a sweet shop.
Yeah.
And he just forgets that he's Dave Grohl.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I adore Dave Grohl. I just think he's one of the best humans in the industry. One of my bucket list people to work with is Dave Grohl. Gonna go see the Foo Fighters this year. I'm so excited. So excited.
You've got to do that. You get yourself down the front, because occasionally it just gets people up to
Well, I was
sing and
thinking,
perform.
I was gonna say, I was like, I might make one of those signs. It's like, I can sing. Get me up.
With it, and just a list of songs you know off by
Yeah,
heart.
right. Here's a list of my repertoire.
Yeah, we've seen that Kiss guy that played with them. He had
No.
Kiss makeup on.
Yeah, they just call him Kiss Guy.
Yeah, he's like, come up here, Kiss guy. And he comes up and he shreds and he's
he's
playing
amazing,
it.
yeah.
No
And they're
way.
like, they're pissing themselves laughing because how good he is.
Yeah.
You're like, why is this happening? Why is he dressed as Kiss? I don't know.
Probably the at a Foo Fighters
Yeah,
concert.
why are you dressed as Kiss?
It's like me going to see Bublé, but dressed as like I'd go to see Cradle of Filth or something like that.
Get up here, Cradle of Filth guy.
Definitely get some attention, for sure.
I love it.
Yeah.
For sure. Or maybe I have to go with a gimmick. Maybe that's something I'm going to have to do.
Yeah. Who would you go as?
Dress up as, like, maybe, what's his name from Ghost?
Papa Amoritis.
That-
It needs to just be something ridiculous, you know,
It
like
does.
penis on the forehead, little Sharpie drawing, something like that.
Paint yourself.
Yeah, but then I'd be Penis Girl, and who wants to be Penis Girl?
I know a few people.
Yeah. I'm going to be typing in AI, like, come up with new Marvel character. Penis girl.
Penis Girl.
Thanks, AI. But we've already come up with it.
Chloe Ozwell dressed as a penis. Let's see how that looks.
That costume exists. I've seen it at
It
festivals.
does, the big
Yeah.
inflatable penises.
Yeah.
They're battery powered as well.
Are they?
Yeah, to keep the air inside them so that they don't.
Yeah.
So they don't
That's
go
how
floppy.
the big T-Rex ones.
Yeah.
And like the one where it looks like an alien carrying you.
Yes.
I used to work with a guy who he dressed as the inflatable dinosaur, and the batteries went halfway through the day.
No.
So we're just walking around in just floppy material.
Deflated.
I remember when I was at Download and I was watching Bowling for Soup,
Yeah.
and somebody had a giant inflatable penis, and they went, "Hey!" and they've got giant inflatable sheep on stage.
I remember this.
But these sheep actually have buttholes.
They used to sell those in the nightclubs in Barnsley when I was a kid, and there was like condom machine, these blue pills that were like Viagra but without a prescription, but I don't really think they probably did anything, and then it'd say inflatable sheep, £5, and it had a little butthole on it.
No way, yeah.
I was just like,
But they had giant versions, and they went, "Pass us that inflatable penis. So bring it up." And they put it in the sheep, and the sheep exploded. It was great. And then they came back a few years later going, "You destroyed the last one last time, so has anyone got one? We'll do the other one."
maybe slightly smaller penis next time, yeah.
Yeah.
The sheep can't handle it.
But just, it's so funny.
It's not had many trips to Wales.
Bring
Sorry,
the lube next
that was
time.
a low blow.
Yeah.
Oh, and very stereotypical of me.
I know.
I'm just giving off a very bad impression of myself.
God, Matt, be more original.
This is where I
will you?
could really like control the situation here and make myself look amazing. I could edit this so that I look great.
Yeah.
Overdubs.
Oh yeah.
There's some chat. There's maybe some AI things. I'll just say something over the top of stuff later.
Upload all your podcasts to AI. It'll find your voice, and then you can replace it all.
See, maybe next time, in a couple of weeks when I have another episode, I might not have to actually be here. I could
Oh
do.
my God, just AI yourself
Maybe you should interview yourself.
through AI.
Yeah, so you sit there and have an AI version of you, and then see what it would respond with.
It makes me think. Have you ever seen the '90s film The Commitments
No.
about a Irish soul band? It's one of my favourite films of all time.
Oh no!
Check it out. It's great. But the guy who puts it together as a manager, he lives in like a little council house with his mum and dad, never really working, trying it as a band manager, and he just sits in the bath interviewing himself like he's on some kind of American chat show all the time.
Oh, brilliant!
It's brilliant. It's such a good film.
I used to do that as a kid. I used to sit in my granddad's kitchen, dancing around, pretending I was famous, and then interviewing myself.
Oh really?
Yeah,
you
no,
sing
I was.
into the
I was a
hairbrush.
strange kid.
Yeah.
Like,
I was busy trying to be Sonic, seeing how fast I could run. Literally.
Every time you get some new trainers for Christmas.
Yeah. I was like,
How fast can you go in them?
I was like, "Mom, am I faster than yesterday?" She's like, "Nah, waiting
No.
for me to tire myself
Yeah.
out. Go to bed."
Yeah, they do that with me. They take me to the park. They go, see how long it takes you to run to that tree and back to me again. Now the next tree. Now the next tree.
Yeah.
Come back.
That's it. Yeah, it was applaud the
Yes.
whole time.
He's down.
Yeah.
I was the kid that my mum's. I think she's still actually got it. This is how good plastic products were back in the day, like a plastic kind of drainer, and I put it on my head when I was a kid. I used to just run around with it on my head all the time, and like banging on it and making noise. It probably explains a lot now, but she's still got it. And
No
it's-
way.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's like, cause everything's just so flimsy now, isn't it? You
Yeah.
like try and pick up a carton of milk, and it bends.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you see all the kids' toys and stuff, you think that's made of nothing.
Yeah.
Like you could like kill a man with a Power Ranger toy.
Yeah, like
just hit
like
it.
Happy Meal toys, Kinder
Yeah.
Surprise stuff. It was solid.
Yeah.
you could kill someone with a Nokia.
Oh yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
Had a Nokia 3310. You threw that at a man, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't need phone cases, did you?
No.
Unless you were like over 30 at the time, and you'd have it on like a leather belt strap
I remember those. Yeah.
My dad had a pager with one of those.
It's been replaced now with the leather fold-out one where you keep your bank cards in it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it has. Yeah.
I'm not quite there yet. I do drop my phone every now and then, but I don't. It's weird because I had a Nokia 5110 and I never dropped that. And to be fair, I would have had a black toe if I'd have dropped that. It weighed a ton.
Oh god, yeah, those things were heavy.
My first phone was one of those big Nokia bricks. My dad didn't want to give me a decent phone, so he was like, "Here you go, have this." And it was like this big with an aerial.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
literally couldn't carry it on your person. You had
Yeah.
to take a backpack to put it in,
Oh god.
and then you could only do one line of text on it because that's how big the screen was.
So,
was it.
yeah. I would think I would not quite had one as old as that. The 5110. It did have an aerial, but it didn't kind of pull out and retract and everything. Not like an old school FM radio.
Yeah,
But it still. I loved it because you could play Snake on it.
yeah.
Love Snake.
It's made me think now. Actually, I wonder if there's an app where I
Where
can
you can play
download.
Snake.
Makes me stressed though. I get really like anxious and panicky because you know when it gets to the point where we're running out of space.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my
yeah.
god! So I can't play Pac-Man because the moment they're after me, I'm like once when he gets that little superpower and he's chasing after everyone, I feel so powerful, and then it goes away, and then they all start kind of getting you in a corner and you can't get away. I get really stressed out. That's why I think I stopped playing computer games as an adult. I got to a certain stage and then just stopped playing them.
Too
'Cause
stressful.
I can't play games where I'm being chased by things. You know, if it's like a zombie game and,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
surrounding you.
Yeah.
I've never tried VR, but I think I'd get freaked out and stressed.
I put VR on once. One of our old drummers was like, "Have you ever seen VR?" I was like, "No, put this on." I was like, "Okay." I'm in space, so it felt weird. 'Cause I was like, "I'm floating in space." He's like, "Look behind you." I was like, "I don't want to."
Yeah.
I was like, "It's going to be an alien," but it's a big comet, and it made me shit myself because you feel like you're actually there. I felt like really vulnerable with this thing on, but I'm just in a car park. I'm just like this.
Why were you in a car park?
He asked me if I'd never tried VR while I was in a car park.
See,
What was he doing with
I don't
a
know
VR
what I would have
helmet
been
in a car
expecting on the
park?
screen then, but anything could have happened there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Here you go. Try this.
You're gonna feel a comet come up behind you.
Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And those PlayStation had like a VR set. They could play a game on it, and that was weird. So you'd be on a roller coaster. And you'd have to shoot all these clowns jumping at you.
Where were these clowns coming from if you were on a roller coaster?
So it's like a scary roller coaster, and these like clowns are coming out with
Yeah, but-
knives and stuff.
My question is, if you were on a roller coaster, where were these clowns coming from? Were they just
You know, like
very tall clowns?
you know, like when you're in a horror ride.
Yeah.
You're indoors, aren't you, at first?
Yeah.
So it starts off like that.
So like a ghost train.
Yeah. It starts
Okay.
off like that. Then like it gets trippy. Like there's a giant one, like literally like
Right.
Godzilla, but
Clownzilla.
Clownzilla, and then it gets really trippy. But it fucks with my head because you like feel like you're moving, but you're not.
This must be worse for you. So he used to get the worst night terrors.
Yeah.
And so it must be because your brain just, I think, works in...
Yeah.
Strange
Night terrors are weird. I think I'd woke up and
Is that the same as when you get sleep paralysis? Because I used to have that.
Yeah, so kind of like had sleep paralysis as well, but this one is like, so you're having a dream, you wake up, but you can still see your dream, but whilst you're still in your bedroom.
Yeah.
So in my dream, I was growing legs out of my legs, and they were snapping.
Okay.
And then when I woke up, I could still see it and feel it, and I was just screaming like, "Ah, what's going on?" Yeah. It's
See,
weird.
I used to watch a lot of horror films in my 20s.
Yeah.
And I'd just kind of do gigs and then just get drunk on every other day that I weren't doing gigs
Nice.
and stay up till about 4 and not get up till lunchtime.
Yeah.
and I'd always get these kind of like night terrors. Well, supposing that kind of thing where I couldn't move. It was like sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of like injure my back sometimes because I'd get so tense trying to get up,
Yeah.
trying to trying to like I knew after a while I knew what it was. I knew I was dreaming, but I couldn't move. But I was always at the point where whatever was going on in the dream, it was just getting me then. So it was just grabbing hold of me or running at me or grabbing, or hitting me or biting me or something. And I'm trying to hit it, move away, but I just can't. I'm just literally glued to it, and I'd tense up so much that I'd like pull my back and all sorts.
Yeah, I had the one where like I was lay there, I was just staring at my wall. I didn't even know I was asleep, I guess, because I thought I'm just about to go to sleep. I couldn't move, and I felt like something was climbing over me and breathing in my ear and tapping on my hand. I was like, I can't move. Shit.
Oh shit! No. Uncle Phil's here again.
So as soon as I got up, I was there doing karate in every room. Like, where are you? I'll get you. Turn the lights on. Somebody's here.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I've never suffered with sleep paralysis. It sounds terrifying, but no, I'm quite a good dreamer. I like to think.
I've had kind of like hints of it where it nearly came. I felt like it was coming on again in the last few years and stuff, and then it's kind of gone away again. But I was like, oh god, not this again. Yeah. Because it's weird because like all the things that you're kind of dreaming about that kind of that are attacking you and getting you and things like that, they're not things that I believe in because I'm not religious. I don't believe in kind of spirituality. I don't believe in any kind of like ghosts and ghouls and monsters and all this type of stuff. But it's always them that are getting me in the dream.
I think it's when
and I'm freaking out.
I think it's when it feels real though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like even if you don't believe it, it's strange. Yeah.
We've gone very dark, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
Let's steer away from that. So I think because there'll be a lot of people that'll be watching this because obviously they know you guys and they'll be and follow you guys, and there'll be some people that be kind of checking you out for the first time. So let's talk about the band, and can you tell me how it came about, when it started, what kind of set that spark going?
Well, this is a long story.
Yeah, I guess so. Like we met in college.
Yeah. So we've known each other, 13 years now?
Yeah. And Chloe was singing in a pop punk band.
I was singing in a pop punk band.
Yeah, she was in a pop punk band.
Where are you?
Yeah.
It was awful.
And we got
genuinely terrible.
And we got talking because you used to wear like Motley Crue t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah, huh?
So we were like talking about hair metal and things. I was like, yeah, cool. I'm there with my cowboy boots. And yeah, so I ended up having this house party with everybody from college. And then people brought their friends and their friends, and it was like a 1-bedroom house, but like 80 people were there.
Yeah, so your house parties used to get absolutely wild.
It was ridiculous. Like it was absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, one guy was there who literally saw that I'd like tried to protect all my guitars in one corner of the room from getting destroyed. And he was like, "Oh, see, you've got like some guitars."
Broadcasting.
Oh.
It's all right. Ignore me. I pressed the button then, and it played my intro again.
Yeah. So yeah.
Carry on.
We then he invited me to like play like I guess like 80s hair metal covers and stuff like that. And then we couldn't get a singer at the time. I think some of them were going off for like singing competitions like The Voice and things like that. So we were like, oh, okay. And then you rage quit your band for whatever reason. I can't remember.
I can't remember either. But I was like, I'm sick of this.
Yeah. And then everyone's like, oh, you should just get Chloe.
Well, I was pestering you guys for ages. I was like, I can sing. Try me out. And you guys were like, no, we want a male singer. And I'm like, no, just try me out.
That and the one guy at the time, he was like, oh, I just can't imagine a girl singing girls, girls, girls. We're like, it'd just be strange, wouldn't it?
Boys,
like,
boys, boys. There is one of those videos actually, isn't there?
Uh-huh.
So we were like,
bit different though.
How about we just don't do that instead, and we'll just do our own stuff. And then yeah, he never turned up again.
Yeah.
He just we
did the audition together, and then the next practice he just didn't show, and we started writing original stuff.
Yeah, and that was it. And then you came with the name.
I did.
I believe.
I did. Yeah. I was in my Billy Idol phase at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
so,
little sister.
Just a shotgun.
Yeah, that's
there
it.
You go.
Yeah. But yeah, it started kind of from house parties.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's
kind of a rock and roll story, really.
Yeah. And then started that way. Started doing our own stuff. A few covers.
We did a few covers.
Yeah.
I think our first gig was a bit of a clanger because we'd chosen some really strange covers to do.
Yeah, we played a
was a biker festival.
And as you can imagine, like, right, okay, let's whip out, your White Snakes and your stuff
we
like that.
did a Steel Panther cover, if I
we
remember
did.
as well.
Death to All But Metal. Her singing it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, to her singing, "You Can Suck My Balls." It's brilliant. Brilliant.
You've got to do the actions with it as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we played that. We only tuned a step down, I think, anyway.
I can't remember.
And these are supposed to be like big, like bikers. They're like, yeah, metal.
Yeah.
And then they said we were too heavy and that we can't come back. It was like,
'Cause we were
you're
too
not
heavy.
going to play again. You're too heavy. So we played Whitesnake.
Yeah, it's very surprising because I played tons and tons of biker festivals with different bands, original bands and cover bands, and the majority of the audience, they don't want screamy stuff. They just want what I class as dad rock.
Yeah.
That's what goes down the best from what I've seen. But then, I mean, me and my friend Joe, we play once a year at this. We play one gig a year with it as an acoustic duo at Yorkshire Rock and Bike Show, and we do the Thursday night warm up before all the bands start.
Yeah.
And we just do anything and everything. We do like Britney Spears, "Hit Me Baby One More Time,"
Amazing.
and Erasure, and we do
So
we
good.
do obviously like we do some AC/DC but acoustic style, and my favourite that we actually do is the Osmonds' Crazy Horses.
Oh yes.
No way.
I would love to do a metal version of that
Oh
song.
yeah.
because
That
The
would be
intro would be mad.
sick.
it's such a good riff back in the day, but and Joe has a kazoo for it as well.
Stop it. That's so good.
I remember when you were at university, you employed the whole band to do like
My final major project. Yeah.
to do like
It
pop
sucked.
songs into metal. So I sat there learning like Katy Perry,
Katy
and
Perry.
turning it as heavy as I could.
Yeah.
And she like even taped cupcakes to her.
To my boobs.
Yeah.
It was such a last minute job. Like, I was so disorganized. I'd got everyone to play the thing, but it wasn't really a show. Like, it was so last minute. I don't know how I scraped by, but I managed to get a 2-1. She's a graduate. But yeah, no, it was a bit of a shit show on my end.
Was it actual cupcakes or did you just print off?
No,
pictures?
I bought a really cheap bra. I bought some glue. And I just printed out 2 pictures of cupcakes and just glued them onto this bra.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure one of them fell off halfway through the show.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you'd have looked enough online, there probably would have been some cupcake bras
No,
somewhere.
I know. Hindsight is
Sheen
2020.
or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have Sheen back then, though. This was
No,
a while
true.
ago.
Yeah. This was like
This
eBay
is about
days.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
There's a lot more options now, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
buy any old crap. You type things in, you think of something, and it exists.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it was in your night terror, you can probably buy it.
The
Some weird
adverts
stuff about
for things for that Sheen site is ridiculous. Like the things you can buy on
Oh,
there.
I know.
Oh, like
Horrifying.
man G-string things, but like they hook from the front round one side and that's it. And you're like, how do you?
I've seen people
Hold
on
on to
holiday
it.
wearing those.
Yeah, how does it stay on? And they're like, well, there's a bit that you can plug in. And you're like,
No.
that's how
I
they
didn't know
stay.
that.
No,
Neither
they
did I.
didn't wear those at the pool where I was.
But yeah, I thought, how
There's
does
a different
that
kind of
stay?
cruise.
Yeah. But yeah, funny. The
No,
stuff-
I've gone a bit kind of mad on Temu recently and just bought like crap. Like some of the stuff on here is from Temu. My little ducks on my desk. They're
Love
a new
that.
addition for this episode from Temu.
I love that.
These ducks in the shape I'm describing for people that are
They
listening.
can't see. Yeah.
In the shape of middle fingers. They're from there.
They
My little seal, the seal of approval, and then
Oh my god, I love it.
and then little head Ed.
Yeah.
And then whatever that is, I'm guessing it's Thing from Adam's Family, but
Oh, yeah.
they've done it just different enough
To-
for
to not-
copyright reasons.
Not break any laws.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a bit hairier than
yeah.
normal.
Here's available now. Dead hand. Yeah, my plan is to fill up all my desk with
Tchotchkes.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna buy anything else off Temu because it's all a bit kind of generic, and I like the idea of getting all the things that are a bit weird, or things that are very that I like. I'd like to get a couple of like an Austin Powers and a Dr. Evil and a Mini Me.
Yeah.
Love
yeah.
Put them somewhere on here.
Yeah.
On my desk, I've got a Gene Simmons rubber duck. So where I live, around Easter time, there's a duck race, a rubber duck race, and they chuck it into the river. So one of my friends bought me this Gene Simmons duck. I was like, he's too good to throw.
Yeah.
His name is Gene Swimmons. So I was like, I'm not throwing Gene.
Kiss will put their name on anything.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
really, they will.
So I'm like, I'm not throwing Gene Swimmons away. So
The fact that it's got a name, you can't, can you?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. I was like, nah, he's going in my studio. Stick him there, and then I'll just spend £2 to throw one of their ducks in. But it's
Have you
brilliant.
ever won?
No, you don't really win anything either. I don't
So
think.
it's just a load of people throwing a bunch of rubber ducks.
And
Yeah,
then running down the river.
But it gets intense. It does. People are like camping out, trying to find the correct spot. You get a number, and they're there waiting there all day. Like, I'm going to win this year. I think you get
Life
No
before
one-
smartphones.
Yeah, right.
I
No
think
one
you
ever
ma-
wins.
I think you make it into the local newspaper as the winner of the duck race.
So not even like a cash prize or anything.
And then all the girls go, I want to be with that guy.
yeah. A man can throw a duck.
They were Gene Swimmons under your arm.
yeah. So, but he threw his, which was a cowboy duck. But no, I've still got Gene Swimmons, and he's ace. Like weird stuff like that. Love it. It's great.
There must be a particular one you can buy that's shaped in a way that it's going to move faster.
Yeah, I thought
Right.
about buying a Sonic the Hedgehog one. I thought, if anything, he's got to be fast.
You should
right?
glue onto a motorised, like a RC speedboat or something
Yeah.
like that. Or submarine, they won't know then because you can get them as well.
Yeah, I could cheat and attach one to a drone and just drop it in the end.
Drag it on a bit of fishing wire.
Yeah, so like the local, was it, like they all go up and down the river on their boats, kayak
Oh,
or
okay.
whatever. They are the ones that collect them all and decide who's the winner.
Oh.
But, yeah, it's chaos because some people can't
Interesting.
throw; they just throw it into a pub next door.
That would be me. It'd end up like hitting somebody on the head.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, going back to when I used to drum, so halfway through a song, and
Oh, so you actually drummed in a band then? At
well,
some
no,
point?
it was in my where I used to work. So I used to work in a piano bar. So we used to play piano, sing, and then like have like an hour playing the drums in between sets.
God.
And so I was halfway through a song, playing the drums, everything was great. But do you know when your hands kind of get sticky or you just like drop a drumstick and they just fly out of your hands? So I was playing and this drumstick, and I must have gone for a thing, and the thing must have, like, I say fallen out of my hands. I accidentally threw a drumstick, basically, and the end of the song, somebody comes over and is like, hands this drumstick over to one of my colleagues and goes, this drumstick just hit me in the head, so I accidentally went through this and whacked somebody on the head with a drumstick.
Ow.
I know. I wouldn't trust me to throw anything.
Have you had anything thrown at you on stage before?
No, I don't think so.
'Cause I've seen bands on like bigger festivals getting bottled and all
Oh
sorts
yeah,
of stuff.
that's my worst fear, is somebody like throwing a bottle of piss.
I only remember that one time where you said everyone put your hands up and a guy put a sandwich up in the air.
Oh, that was funny. That was Fearless Vampire Killers when we were supporting them.
Yeah, so everyone put your hands up. Wait, and she goes, "Is that a ham sandwich?" Someone's got this ham sandwich.
From Greg's.
Yeah.
Because you could see the wrapper, it said Greg's. I was
Yeah.
like,
It feels like it's an offering though, as if they're holding
That's
it up
true.
to
Yeah,
you.
I'll have that. Go on.
but also, how was someone snuck a sandwich into a venue? Like, this was like a proper like O2 venue, so you would have had security pat you down.
But would they take your sandwich off you?
I
that's
thought
a
they
very
would,
good
because it'd stop
question.
you taking drinks in, because obviously, I mean, I understand why drinks are so expensive in, say, an arena, because people's going to have a few in the pub before they go. They may buy 1 or 2 big pints in there, and they need to warrant having that place open and run it, so they have to charge enough to make it. That's what I've been told, why it's so expensive. So they would try to make sure that you need a drink.
Yeah,
100%.
but because they don't sell food, maybe they allow meals. But I guess,
Oh yeah, I can't
Wait,
remember
what's-
actually. O2's
but what's-
selling food in the little ones.
yeah, what's the limit though? You can't just walk in with a pizza. But they
You
obviously
might.
they obviously let him with his sandwich.
This is an experiment. The
A
next
little-
time I
little
go to
trolley.
the next time I go to a gig, I'm gonna see what I can get away with bringing in food wise.
So usually, if you've got your own drink, you want to neck that, mate. So maybe
Right.
they were like, you need to, munch that sandwich down,
Yeah.
get it gone.
Maybe I'll bring a curry in and see if I can get away with my curry and my naan and
It made me
some
like a
poppadoms.
Subway one, and he's kind of stuffed it down the front of his trousers, and I thought, I'm not feeling to check
Yeah.
that.
Unless he had a full sandwich
Yeah.
and he bartered with security and gave him the other
Half
half.
a sandwich.
Just let the guy through. It stinks of meatballs. Anyway. It's making me feel sick.
Yeah.
No, I'm the kind of I've had it before where we've played with FAHRAN. We've played places where. So I don't drink when we do tours, but some of the guys will have a couple or whatever, or they might have a few afterwards while they're watching the other bands play and stuff. And they're a bit funny if you've kind of brought your own rider in. And we played a place in Wolverhampton, and I'm quite happy to name it actually because I think it's gone now, and the owner was a
Is
pain.
it the Slade Rooms by any chance?
No, we've had a good time when we played there, but we played somewhere. It was called YOLO Club or something,
I've never heard
Yeah,
of
I've
which
that.
never heard
I
of
thought
that.
would be a passing phase anyway,
Yeah.
because who says YOLO anymore?
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, that's true.
No offense if you do say it.
Oh God, no.
But the owner was kicking off that one of the bands had brought like 12 cans of Carling, and I was like, let them drink it. It's Carling, it's
Yeah, right.
it's not even really alcohol, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
If they want to put themselves through 12 cans of Carling, let them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
We
Because
are-
usually you just get given beer backstage.
Yeah.
yeah, well, depending on the show.
Well, this one they weren't, so it was like, well,
If they're not supplying the beer, you might as well bring your own.
yeah.
I loved it when we played one place and they put a whole spread of pizzas out. I was like, this is great. We should play here all the time.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I
Where
think it was
that?
Nottingham.
What show was it?
Maybe you didn't get any pizza.
Maybe. I'm like, hang on, there was
Actually,
pizza.
there wasn't pizza. It's a lie.
Yeah, it was just a night terror.
Yeah,
It wasn't real.
They were like, this fridge is full of beer. Help yourself. And here's some pizzas and some garlic breads. It was with Liberty Lies.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. It was the tap and tumbler. Yes, I
that
do.
was it,
There was
yeah.
garlic bread involved. That's
Yeah.
why I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to smell it. even if
Listen,
you can't
I
see
am
it.
a sucker for garlic bread.
Also,
Absolute
her
fiend.
weird food.
As we're talking about this, my mouth is literally
Yeah.
salivating,
Also, weird
covered in
food
drool.
food habits again. She doesn't like cheese, so she picks cheese off pizza. That's why.
Leave
I
me
don't
alone.
remember
right.
pizza.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. Just tomato bread.
Listen, they do that in Italy. It's a thing.
Yeah. Tomato on toast. A bit of meat.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Leave us cheese haters alone.
Say that is the main thing to why like Chris in FAHRAN's vegan. I don't think I can do it because I just love melted cheese. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with it.
I worked in a hotel and they were like, we've got vegan in. I was like, okay, yeah. They want a vegan pizza. I was like, okay, how do I make it? It's like this. He's like, you make it though, I'm not touching the cheese. I was like, okay. So I opened this vegan cheese. I was like, oh, this smells bad. And it was like feet. Like, I proper grated it and it just didn't melt at all. It was weird.
I think I've been told when it first started it was terrible. I've heard it's got better.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think I've actually had it myself, but apparently it is better now.
That's all right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know like Papa John's and Domino's do a vegan pizza with like vegan cheese. I've no idea what's in it though.
Yeah. It's just called cheese, but with a Z instead, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's called like cheese instead of cheese.
I thought they were just trying to be cool or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
cheese.
See, my brother's a DJ and he calls himself Coops, but with a Z on the end.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because he's a hard house,
Love that.
90s, like trance raver,
Okay, yeah.
which I don't mind the music. It's the MCs that are talking. Well, I say
Oh,
talking.
no.
They're trying to read the dictionary in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Over the top, just like, what the hell? I don't even know what they're on about.
Yeah.
And they cup the mic and shove it right near the nose, so it's really nasally. And it all sounds like this. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
They all try and do an accent that sounds like their scooter.
yeah.
I notice everyone's like, hello everybody, Bora Bora Bora. Yeah.
His accent's not real. Isn't he German or something?
Yeah,
He's just
yeah.
putting on some kind of weird half English, half
But
American
all-
accent.
It always reminds me that when you go to weddings, it's like all these like wedding DJs have the same voice.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a slow one for this evening.
It's so cringe though.
Elton John and Katie Lang, and Buffy's now open.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Kath and Fred.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's all a DJ voice.
It's so cringe though. So cringe every time.
It's still going though.
Yeah,
It's weird because like when I've done a few where I've just supplied music for people before, but I won't refer to myself as like I'm the DJ because people come up to me and they'll go, "Can you put so and so on?" I'm not DJ, and they can see I'm looking confused because I'm like stood next to the equipment.
so you're not DJ Black Toe.
Who's there?
DJ Black Toe.
With a Z.
Yeah, Black Toes.
Black Toes.
But it's like they'll ask you, and then and they see him looking at the gear, and then looking at me, and then thinking, "What? Who's playing the music?" Then it's like I'm thinking, the laptop. You don't. Again, human has been replaced. I pressed play.
Yeah.
The computer needed me to set everything up for it, and now it's performing.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just set the lights going, and I'm sat here now. And I actually did some a little residency at a place for about 6 weeks. Just then they needed someone to kind of fill a gap before they got this permanent guy in, and I'd got some dates free. So like, yeah, I'll come and do the music. I said, I'm not talking, I'm not having a mic set up, and I don't do requests because they were just coming and asking for the same crap over and over again.
Yeah.
And some of them they'd ask for. It was around the time where I don't know if I've got his name wrong. I'm sure it was called Omi, and it was a song called Cheerleader, and they kept asking for this song, and people had asked me that much that I put it on, and then 5 minutes later, some other people had come in and said, "Can you put Cheerleader?" No, I've just put it on. Oh, put it on again. No. And I'd got headphones in, and people thought I were mixing music, but I were actually watching Morecambe and Wise on YouTube on my phone.
I've seen people pissed at weddings trying to order at the DJ, "I'll take a double Malibu and Coke." It's like, I'm not the bar. Double Malibu and Coke, please. It's like, I'm the DJ. Double Malibu and Coke.
It's been a long time since I've been in that kind of situation of being so drunk that I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I've had a handful. I say a handful. I've had quite a few times in my life where that's happened. Not so much in recent years.
No.
I can't be bothered. I get sleepy now.
Yeah, I do.
And I want food.
Yeah.
Most people I know that get to like our age are like, they can't get drunk because they get heartburn first.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it's like, oh, anyone got a Rennie?
Acid reflux.
Yeah, I can't
You
drink
got any
wine.
Gaviscon?
Yeah, I can't drink wine because I get acid reflux. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Off the table.
Yeah.
Can't do it
It's
anymore.
like, because when you're younger, you can just literally you get to a point where you think, I know I should stop. I look like I'm walking against the wind to get to the bar, and then I'm going 4 black sambucas, and I'm on my own.
Yeah. One of our old guitarists used to get so drunk he'd forget who we were.
Oh my god,
He's like,
yeah.
"What's your name?" He's like, "Yo."
Nice to meet you anyway. Yeah.
It's like, have you heard about?
Cheers, son.
You heard about this Facebook thing? You're like, yeah. We've got to do something about it. It's like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
We've got to take it down. It's like, oh.
Have you ever been that drunk in a kitchen with like a small group of friends where you've agreed to open a bar in Spain in 2 years from now?
There's
and
no last call ever.
You can do the music and you do the fry ups in the morning for the English people. And then I'll be cleaner and bartender.
Yeah.
And, Tony made a cocktail once. So
He knows how to do those napkin swans. We'll have him as well.
he's an efficient folder.
Yeah, that's it. He's sick. Man's a cook.
And then you wake up day after and no one really mentions it again. Because you just think, what the fuck we're talking about?
No, I know. Or we used to have somebody in the band who was such a drinker that, going back to the first show that we ever did, so we camped at this thing, and he got so wasted he ended up stealing a bottle of Sambuca from the bar.
The barman was like 8 foot wide, muscle.
And I don't know how he did it. He just showed back up at the tent with this thing under his coat. He was like, "Look what I've got." And I'm like, how the fuck did you manage to get that? Look,
I was terrified because I was like, that bartender was huge. I don't want to mess with him. And we're surrounded by bikers.
No, I know.
Yeah, no thanks.
He was sick in his bike helmet though, which was hilarious.
See, I think that's like a waste, isn't it? Because when you're such a unit, there's so many other jobs you could be doing. Really, you could be a bodyguard, you could be a bouncer, you could be a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
I suppose it might be kind of like, it might be a gentle giant though. As well.
It could be.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people.
I remember
like
he had really skinny legs though, so he looked like a Dorito. So like he's bigger up here than he is down here.
Oh my god.
Like maybe size 3 feet, sort of like that.
He's got to wear Dockers all the time, otherwise it tips over.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
it. Yeah.
It's one of those. If you're small, be small. If you're big, be a big hench person. But if you've got a small frame, don't try and be hench because you're just gonna look like a weirdo
Well, he looked terrifying behind a bar.
until
You
you
can only
walk.
see the top half.
Yeah, and then when he walked out, you're like, who stole his legs? He looked like a cartoon. You know, like Groot from like Minions or something.
Oh my god, like
that,
Johnny,
yeah.
like Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, tiny legs. Yeah, tiny feet, tiny legs, big up top.
Yeah. Oh, made me think of Johnny Bravo. It was like you couldn't have him now, could you?
Oh
In
my god,
2024.
no.
Oh, he'd be too sexist.
He'd be on a
or-
register,
It would be,
definitely.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
remember on the one episode he took steroids and became a giant or something. That was brilliant.
We honestly, the kids' cartoons we had were so messed up. I watched Ren and Stimpy again
Oh,
for the
yeah.
first time like a while back. It's so
It's an acid trip.
freaky.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did we sit through this as kids and go, yeah, this is fine? How?
I had all the classics, and you'd have like what's his name? Is it Pepe Le Pew?
Oh, Looney Tunes, yeah.
So rapey.
Oh
So
my God,
rapey.
yeah.
He just doesn't let go of people when they're saying no.
No means no.
I was in a band with a drummer like that. We had to sack him.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
But then we'd have like your usual classics, your Tom and Jerry, all that type of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then and Jetsons and Flintstones.
Yeah.
And then it all started getting a bit bizarre because we get like Ed, and Eddie and Cow and Chicken. and-
Love those.
Yeah.
which is all a bit weird, but I loved it at the same
is.
time.
Yeah.
Like, Cow and Chicken's parents were just legs. And you think, what's the rest of them look like? And
Well, the human legs weren't they as
Yeah,
well?
yeah.
They were, yeah.
Because somebody said that they are literally just legs. And they were like, this is what is above
Yeah.
the legs. And it was nothing but a belt. Or something. I was like,
Yeah, no, it was weird. And then the fact that you got the devil as a main character in Cow and Chicken, weird.
Was it a devil?
It was the devil?
I remember Powerpuff Girls having a devil.
Oh, there were a devil in Cow and Chicken,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he'd always got a bare backside, and
Yeah.
and it always creaked on leather chairs.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah.
See, I can see how I found that funny as a child.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
I'd laugh at any old shit though when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah, me too. Stick me in front of the TV. Doesn't matter what was
It's
on.
when you watch it now and you're like, wait a minute. That was definitely a sexual innuendo.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And you're like,
Disney films are the worst for that.
Yes.
They're full of them.
yeah. But I think you had to keep, like, the parents interested while the kids were watching something.
Yeah,
Could you be like, oh. It's like when we were a kid, I used to listen, remember that song, Sex on the Beach?
Oh, my God,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know what sex was when I was a kid. I was just like, yeah, sex
Sex
on the beach, come on,
Yeah.
everybody.
see, I'm a bit older. We knew what it were, but even then, we were just like, we were at the age we were thinking, why would you want to do that? Sand.
Sand everywhere,
Oh, okay.
right?
I didn't know. I was just there sliding on my knees with my
Yeah.
lemonade.
I was the same. Exactly the same.
Inhaling helium balloons.
Yeah.
And then that song, I'm horny. I'm horny.
Yeah,
horny.
yeah, that's it.
I didn't know what horny meant
I
as a
thought
kid.
she was
What
singing
does it mean?
honey.
Yeah.
And I was thinking,
Oh, yeah.
she's sweet. Oh, right, get it. Yeah, cool. So that's what I used to sing along.
Oh yeah, so but yeah, stuff like that just completely breezes
Over
over
the head,
until
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
old enough. Now you're like, wait a minute.
Hang on a minute.
That kind of rings true in most films as well. Any kind of 80s classic you'll watch, you'll look back now and go, oh,
Yeah, that's a bit.
didn't know what that meant back then.
Yeah, but
Now I
now,
wish I don't, but
yeah, but now kids have got Cardi B. Just she takes all of it and just
Yeah.
yeah. And then people getting offended by the odd word in an old song when she's singing about. All
cancel
that.
it, cancel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Cardi B's.
So yeah, it's not for me that. See, Cardi B for me is what I wear when Cardi is in the wash. So
Hey.
it's not my thing. I kind of I'll listen to stuff because I like to check it out before I decide I don't just kind of just hear 30 seconds or something. I'll check out other things because who's the other one? There's another one very similar to Cardi B called Doja Cat.
I like Doja Cat.
And I like some of her songs, but there's certain songs that she'll do that are very much like the Cardi B stuff. I'm just like, this obviously isn't for me.
Yeah, see, I respect good songwriting. If it's a good song, it doesn't matter what style it is. You're like, okay, I get that. That's wicked. But some of it, it's just nonsense. But I don't know if that's just me getting older and just you sound more cynical.
Certain songs make me angry on radio. I don't know what it's called, but there's literally a guy singing, and it sounds like he's singing low, 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 low over the top of some chord sequence. That's the chorus.
Okay.
What? Apple bottom jeans.
No. Oh, I like that.
I was gonna say, I was like,
that's my youth. That.
Yeah.
It's weird because even the stuff that was like R&B gangster rap back then, which I kind of liked certain bits but didn't like a lot. I like it now because it's all like, that's quite
nostalgia.
Tame. Yeah, and my brain's like, well, it's tuneful, isn't it? I've become Whispering Bob. I'm like,
it's not
yes, on Radio 2, that was 50 Cent with The Candy Shop. Nothing I listen to now is on Radio 1. It's all on, like, some of it's going on to, like, 2 and 4 and stuff like that.
No.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it? Because now the stuff that we used to listen to, like Nickelback and stuff, is being called divorced dad rock, and I'm like, what? Excuse me?
Yeah,
I could hear it. Nickelback, definitely.
I can see it coming that way. There's a lot of stuff we loved back then is all almost becoming the new dad rock.
Yeah.
Because it was like kind of. It was raw, it was new metal, it was alternative and a bit punky in places, and now it's quite tame. Like I'll put like Spotify metalcore playlists on and check stuff out, and I'll listen to some really like heavy stuff, and it's so far away from what I thought was heavy when I was a kid.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
but I know people were like that, like early 70s, late 60s, when everyone started hearing like Deep Purple and stuff like that. They were like, oh yeah, this is heavy, it's really ballsy, and Black Sabbath, you know. I mean, obviously they started it all off, they kind of laid the foundations for all this stuff that's come, but it's, at the time, that was a thing that would upset the parents.
Yeah, people used to think the Beatles was devil music. They're like, oh my god, they're talking about this. He wants to hold her hand, you know what that means? He wants to hold the devil's hand. The devil likes to jive.
I was slightly out of touch with modern music for a while, and I wasn't letting any in because I was just kind of stuck in the 80s for a while.
Yeah,
and
I've been there. Yeah,
and then now I'm actively looking for new bands all the time to check them out. It's quite interesting, just the directions they're going in, because there's people mixing stuff together now. You've got your Sleep Tokens, you've got these bands that are they'll have kind of dubstep where you thought there was going to be a heavy breakdown. It'll drop down. There's something really, someone's whispering, and then you'll hear this aggressive vocal, and then one single China cymbal, and you think the most brutal breakdown's coming now, and then it just goes into dubstep and they start rapping, and I'm like, I didn't expect it, but it kind of works.
German hard house just appears out of
I
nowhere.
know, yeah.
Yeah, and like people,
It's like, hang on.
not even rap, like full blown like grime type rapping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like people are putting saxophones in metal now, which is amazing, but I didn't know I needed it. But like you're just like, the guitar solo. No, it's a saxophone solo.
I love saxophone.
Yeah.
I do.
Sax fits anywhere.
Oh my god, yeah.
Well, that's what I told him in A&E, but
Oh no.
I'm here all week.
Was that band camp, was it?
Try the vegan chicken. No, I'm all for it. I love it when people mix stuff together. Like when rap metal first come along, and you got like bands like Pod and stuff like that. Even before like people really even heard of Linkin Park and things.
Yeah.
You know, I was just cool. Like I loved Rage Against the Machine. It was like, this is so funky. But then there's like bits I can headbang to. But then he's rapping, but now he's shouting and swearing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm 10. This is brilliant.
Yeah. Full blown angst.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like when you discover Slipknot for the first time, you're like, I'm so hardcore.
Yeah.
You sat there in like a t-shirt from British Home Stores
Yeah,
at
I
10 years. Mum, buy me some black clothing quick.
My mum used to just buy she used to print pictures off of the bands that I liked, and like iron on stuff. Just iron the picture off Google. Just literally iron it on. There you go. There's a band T-shirt.
Get that webbing stuff.
Yeah, I was like, Mum, that's not the band T-shirt. You can buy me some actual ones rather than just ironing.
We've got Slipknot T-shirts at home.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So what did you listen to when you were younger then, before you kind of discovered rock and metal? What were you...
Oh, I was a pop girly. I was all into chart stuff. Like, and I was a completely different person up until I was about 13. I was like blonde hair, into my pop music, like could never imagine listening to heavy music. I think I tried on a couple of occasions. I was like, no, this is terrifying. I hate it. And then all of a sudden I discovered Green Day, and like everything changed as soon as I was like, oh my god, Green Day. And then Green Day turned into My Chemical Romance, which then turned into Bullet for My Valentine, which then kind of sent me down this rabbit hole. And I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah, I didn't really have a choice. It was like rock or nothing, I guess. Like my dad was like, this is Metallica, this is Iron Maiden, this is that. And then, except for like, I'd hear the Spice Girls, and I'd like, I like Baby Spice. And that was like...
Baby Spice was my favourite too.
That was literally like just... Apart from that, it was always like my dad's music before my own. Mm-hmm. And then I discovered stuff like Korn.
Yeah.
And Slipknot and Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park and things. And that blew my brains. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. My dad was like, why are they rapping in rock music? Like, he didn't like it at first. Yeah, he didn't. And then he grown to it in the end, but like... Yeah, it kind of took, like, I think it was like your Korns, your Limp Bizkits, your Linkin Parks. And then Green Day's album, American Idiot, came out, and that was everywhere. And then, it just got heavier and heavier and heavier. And then ended up listening back to my dad's music after a little while. I was like, 80s rock, that's the best.
That one, I think, dad's stuff, he would just he'd put vinyl on, VHS tapes with these, like, top loader tape players. I'd have to put the cassette in and then rewind it, because we'd watched it last time. We couldn't be bothered to rewind it, so I've got to wait 10 minutes while it rewinds.
Oh my god. I was having a conversation with one of my friends the other day who is a little bit younger and doesn't remember VHS tapes. So I was like, let me tell you, it was the biggest ball ache after you'd finished a film to just sit there with your finger on the rewind button for 10 minutes until it got back. And I'm like, you don't understand how good you have it.
Yeah, when DVDs come along, we were like, yes.
I know.
But then if you paused it, it really upset it for about 5 minutes. And everything went kind of all staccato.
Like accidentally recording over something.
Oh, yeah.
Mum's tape, keep off.
Yeah. I used to try and record like Dragon Ball Z episodes. And my mum would be like watching something that she recorded within the week, and it would just go all of a sudden.
I'd end up discovering things that my mum and dad had, like, their favourite shows they'd taped and stuff, just because they'd said, I've done with it, you can use that tape, you can tape some crap cartoons or whatever. So I'd do that, and then the cartoons were shorter than whatever the old stuff that they recorded. So I ended up discovering, like, Cannon and Ball, Tommy Cannon and Bobby Ball. And like watching bits of those, and ended up really liking the humour. This is why my humour's like a bit old school cheesy, because I just really like all the old stuff. I love kind of modern stuff and a bit of shock comedy, and nothing offends me. Like, literally, I was talking to a friend on the phone earlier today about, you can literally just joke about anything, because it is it's just up to the people that's listening if they choose to make it personal or not. Obviously, if the people are if I'm pointing at you and taking the mick out your appearance or something like that, or vice versa, then it is personal.
I get that.
Most general things, you can just make a joke about it. But I'd watched that stuff, and then the young ones, if you've ever
love the young ones.
Rick Mail,
I've got
them somewhere on here.
First year of download, I dressed up as Vivian.
Stop it! You did not.
Yeah, first year I was like 13, and my dad was like, everyone's dressed up. Like, the guys next to us, camp next to us, he just painted himself fully green for no reason. Like, bold guy, just green. God. He was like, why? He was like, download, innit? And my dad was like, right, what do you want to go as? I was like, I don't know, Vivian. So we just like swiped my hair like this, like this, drew some stars on my forehead.
Vivian.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I used to
Naill, your bed's on fire. It's not my bed. It is now.
Calling the toilet the Kidderminster, which is where you were from.
Yeah, that's bottom, that is.
Is it? I thought that was.
Yeah, I've got a bottom. You can't see it in the shot for the
I've got
people
a
watching.
bottom.
I've got a bottom frame up there.
Yeah.
The actual characters from bottom, not an actual bottom.
I've got
Rick
a
Mail's
bottom.
over there somewhere.
Yeah.
And,
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's yeah.
Amazing.
I like the old school.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
I grew up on Harry Enfield.
Yeah,
That was...
Harry Enfield and Chums.
Oh my god.
Harry
so
and
funny.
Lulu.
Oh my god, yeah. Lulu.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so funny. It's the guys from Liverpool, the Ferry cross the Mersey. Hey, calm down.
See, there's a lot of stuff even from then. You just like
It's so
You-
politically
you can't do
incorrect.
it now.
Like,
You
no,
can't- you
it
can't.
wouldn't fly. But even Little Britain would not fly now.
no, and that
they-
that wasn't that long ago
No,
in the
it
grand
wasn't.
scheme of
Little
things.
Britain would not fly.
They
at
took
all.
a good amount of Mighty Boosh off BBC iPlayer and stuff.
Really?
They did it with that "Come Fly with Me" as well. That was
It's 'cause-
Matt Lucas.
Yeah, but that was
Anybody-
They were
inherently
pushing it, yeah.
racist. Like
Yeah,
that
could-
was.
Mighty Boosh was
Not
just
good.
like because the spirit of jazz. Like,
Oh.
but it's not done in a racist way or anything. It's like, oh, people are blue, green, yellow, purple.
Right.
They're all painted different colours, but
But
they
no-
were like, nah, take it off.
No, I do get that. I do.
Yeah.
I
But
do.
yeah. There's some of the stuff when you watch old comedy, like,
Even
Yeah.
watching, because my dad's on a Only Fools and Horses kick again.
yeah.
Even watching that, and I'm like, ooh, probably shouldn't have been done. Probably
Yeah,
shouldn't have been said.
Some bits now you're like, oh my god. Yeah, that is bad.
Yeah, I was. I downloaded some stuff to listen to offline on the plane last week, and I was listening to a guy called Mike Harding, who my granddad got me into. He's from Lancashire. He's like
Yeah.
in his 70s now. He's still going. He's like a poet and like a folk guy, but he's a bit of he was a comedian as well. And he'd like do songs and poems, and they were all like a bit rude, innuendos, lots of funny stuff. And even then, like listening to the stuff, I'm like, wow, this is like, because I've not heard it for like 10 years, and I thought, oh, it'll be good. This I'll listen to this.
Yeah,
From,
yeah.
Like I listened to it when I was like 8, and it's like, that's a bit racist. Wow, that bit's really homophobic.
Yeah, you're like, oh my god.
But it was like really acceptable at the time. It weren't like in a hateful way, it were in a jokey way, but it was like, this would just get you so many emails now.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
100%.
It's got to be difficult to be a comedian now, like to try and because usually you take the piss out of something that's current and relevant,
Yeah.
and you're like, I can't.
You can't take it. You
That-
can't take
that-
the piss
that-
out of anything.
Yeah, unless you're Dave Chappelle and he just does anything that he wants anyway,
Yeah.
and like he seems to be uncancelable.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've seen like Ricky Gervais is kind of that way as well with it.
Yeah.
He just says what he wants, makes a load
I
of money.
don't know. I feel like it's all about the intent with a joke. Like, if the intent is to be horribly offensive and horribly racist, then yeah,
Yeah.
you deserve to be cancelled. But if the intent is a lot more jovial, like the way, I think it's a lot about the delivery, the way that Ricky Gervais delivers something versus the way that, for instance, when Matt Rife did his... Have you heard about what happened with Matt Rife?
no, I've seen him recently. He's that young.
Yeah, he
lad.
made an
Is he the guy that
awful-
all the women like?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
stick
yeah.
all the moms at the front so you
Yeah.
can flirt with them.
So-
Some stuff's funny, but
yeah.
I get a bit like, it's just
Well-
literally just flirting with women all day.
So
it's
he
boring.
made a horrible domestic violence joke.
Right.
Really poor taste, because he went on this whole kick before he put out this special about how he's sick of the fact that his audience are all women and he's trying to appeal to more men and stuff like that. So he's just being an arsehole for the sake of being an arsehole. So it's kind of, it's the difference between the, you know, Matt Rife's delivery and Ricky Gervais's delivery, where it's like...
Yeah, I think with those, like, because to me, like most comedians, I don't find people that funny if they're like quite cool or good looking. I like
Or cocky. Or,
and cocky. And
Yeah.
I like stupid kind of
I like
comedians,
stupid,
and I like
yeah.
them to look a bit weird. Like Ricky Gervais, he's always been that kind of little pudgy guy, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So-
like, I really love Bill Burr.
I love Bill Burr.
He's hilarious. He's such an angry dad, and I'm like, I kind of like that angry dad vibe because they're so pissed off with younger people.
Yeah.
And even though I'm quite a bit younger, I was like, I'm starting to notice that with
Yeah.
people younger than me
Yeah.
as well.
There's a
So,
lot
yeah.
more to him when you scratch the surface, though,
Yeah.
because if you were just listening to the few general bits, you'd start thinking, this guy hates women.
Yeah.
He really hates women. But if you listen to some of the stuff, when he starts breaking it down, like, Oh yeah, and he's taking the mick out of himself at the same time.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I think you've got to do that. You've got to be willing to make yourself
Yeah,
the joke.
self-assessment and stuff.
You need to be the victim in certain jokes to get away with a certain subject.
Yeah. But he talks about Meshuggah, the metal band, as well. And he just says, "Oh, I've just discovered it." He does this impression. It's brilliant.
I'll tell you who I like who is into metal is Ed Gamble. Ed Gamble's really good.
I've not heard of Ed Gamble.
Have you not? He's really
That
famous.
name sounds familiar to me.
No, he's really funny. Check out some of his stuff. He's really, really good, and he's really into his heavy metal stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Looks like a total normal guy though. Doesn't look like he listens to metal whatsoever. Just
He's not like
looks
Steve Hughes. He's like an Australian metalhead comedian who it's quite obvious that he
He's
loves
brilliant.
metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Ed Gamble just looks like a guy that you would
From IT.
Just a guy.
Steve Hughes is funny because he says that thing about, like when you're saying about that you don't get offended. He's like, "What does offended do?" "Oh, you're so offended." "What happens then?"
Nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's just how you feel, isn't it?
Yeah.
You might be offended by something that I'm not, and the other way around.
When
so.
do you make it like you make it a law? Arrest him. He offended me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember it was ringing up like Top of the Pops and going, "They're on the telly again.
Yeah.
The boy bands, white shirts and white trousers. Yeah, no socks."
Yeah, he's great. He is.
That's great. Someone I haven't heard of. But I'm also a big fan. Like, I love physical comedy as well. So people like Lee Evans, I always loved.
Yeah.
And even stuff with puppets like Jeff Dunham. I adore Jeff Dunham. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, I really liked him. I've not watched anything of him in recent years, but when he first come out, I had a good year and a half just watching all his bits and bobs.
It's weird that they have Guitar Guy, don't they?
Is Sinister Gates' dad?
Yeah,
Oh,
from
really?
Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah.
Oh no,
the
I'm
guitar
not aware
guy
of this.
in it. Yeah.
See, I love when I do these shows because I get to find out so much random stuff.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
wait, that's Avenged Sevenfold guitarist dad, and he's there with
I know.
Ahmed the Dead Terrorist, is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, and they're just playing songs, and he's singing. The puppet is.
It's just, it's mad. Absolutely mad.
Oh, I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, it's great.
weird.
So that's just like your top comedians. Where are we at with films?
Oh, don't. I am.
I mean, I'm talking classic films here, not like most recent, just
Oh,
your go-to.
my go-to.
Oh. I think like Bill and Ted has got to be one of my top ones.
Yeah. Wayne's World.
I think it's like formed my identity.
They're on the wall in here as well.
Yeah,
Love Wayne's World.
yeah.
Mean Girls is a massive one for me.
Yeah, I'd not watched that until about 5-ish years ago. And
That's
I
amazing.
got told to watch it all the time. I love a good chick flick, me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a sucker for a chick flick.
Yeah.
School of Rock is another one. I can literally quote the whole thing back to front.
Yeah. Freaky Friday helped
Freaky
me.
Friday.
That helped me play guitar because I used to fancy Lindsay Lohan so bad. And I was like, oh my god, she's like
Right, I need to train my fingers before I meet this woman.
Yeah. If she could play guitar, I need to play guitar too. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. I like all those really disastrous films where there's like two main characters, like best friends, and it just goes wrong. Like your Bill and Ted's, your
Bill and
Wayne's
Ted's,
World,
Wayne's World.
Harold and Kumar.
I was just about to say Harold and Kumar.
Yeah, I love those films. I don't know why. Like, I just think, oh, what's going to happen next? Anything can happen. Like,
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So that's made me think of it's not something I actually enjoyed, but someone told me about it when I was talking about the same type of things. Have you ever heard of Cheech and Chong?
Yeah.
I was like, I need to be on something to enjoy this. I've just got no idea what's going on.
Yeah. That was like an earlier kind of Harold and
Okay,
Kumar.
well, I've
Yeah.
never I've never watched Cheech and Chong.
It's a
but
huge
not...
like weed culture.
Well, no,
thing.
Yeah.
this is why I'm not, because I'm not into drugs.
Because I got like 10 minutes in, I thought, this is slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they laughing at?
And and it's not really aged that well either.
No.
I don't think, like some films, like when you watch Back to the Future.
Back to Future.
Yeah.
Because
Nick is
because
off it, yeah.
it's so I can understand him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
It's just a T.
Yeah.
Back to the future.
Yeah, Back to the Future, and that doesn't seem like it's aged much. Either.
No.
Like it seems like it's still like a new
Quite
film.
relevant,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So you're like, oh, it doesn't look like an old film. To
The
me.
moment we actually
Yeah.
get proper hoverboards, that film will be.
You can
just
already buy the
constantly-
trainers that lace themselves up now.
Really?
Those ones.
Are they
that...
actually real? Because I
Yeah,
thought they
yeah.
were just like
No, you could buy those trainers.
AI trainers.
Yeah.
It does your uni work for you, unties your laces,
Yeah.
leaves you time to do other things,
But
like
yeah,
watch
those-
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, they actually have those ones where you press a button and it like ties your shoelaces or something. It's mad.
Do you ever think they'll remake Back to the Future?
Oh,
I
I think it
hope
would be
not.
it'd be a bad choice, wouldn't it?
I know they're remaking so many
They're
films
remaking
now.
loads, but I'm like, do you think they would ever touch like a classic like Back to the Future?
No, I don't think you need to.
It upset. I don't think I've seen many remakes of films because I'll see them and I'll go, oh, leave my childhood alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they've done a million Batmans, so they'll do them forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But-
there's certain things that they'll just keep creating different stories for them, won't they? Because they've just got the character.
Yeah. And
Like
plus
your
there are
James
so many...
Bonds and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I think when you're talking about comic book franchises as well, because there are so many like subcategories within a category of
Yeah, because they
and
can go, well, that
stories and-
superhero's not being in a film with that superhero yet,
Yeah.
so everyone's going to love
Yeah.
this.
that like the possibilities are endless really with superhero films.
Because they're remaking Harry Potter into a TV series.
Stop it.
And that, I think that's a bit,
That's a bad idea.
people are going to like possibly hate on that.
Oh yeah, massively.
Like they did Lord of the Rings, but that's before the movies. I
Yeah.
think.
Like
so
a
that's,
prequel
So
kinda.
that's smart. Do prequels or afterwards, but don't do
Some
like.
things don't transition very well, do they? Like, you know, you'll... Like, for me, it's like, when you talk about things like The In-Betweeners,
Yeah.
the series, to me, I really enjoyed at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the film, but it felt like a diluted
I don't know. I
version.
enjoyed the first movie. The second movie was awful. But
I
the first
got
movie I
5
thought was
minutes
really
in
funny.
to
Yeah.
the second film, and I was like,
Yeah,
this
the
has
second
gone
movie
so
is
Hollywood
really
now.
bad.
Yeah.
They shot the series and everything in the first one very much kind of that peep show angles.
Yeah.
And it was that made it funny. It was the production of it as well. Obviously, the guys were funny, the writing were funny, but the way it was delivered through all those camera angles and the inner monologues of them and things like
Yeah.
that. And then it went into this weird Hollywood cheese for the second one. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't do it.
They basically took all the things like what makes this series great, took those bits and just overdid all those bits.
Yeah.
Then get
Yeah.
him to say clunge more.
Yeah.
You know, and then get him to say this, that more, do this, make it more awkward. And
The
it's
novelty wears off after certain
Yeah.
things, isn't it? You know, you've got to start coming up with new bits. It's like you can keep the same characters, but they need to be doing something fresh.
yeah, they just reused everything all over
Yeah.
again, I thought.
I tell you what is weird though, like I'm going through TikTok, like watching American pilots of like British shows that obviously didn't make it to air in the US. If they'd done an American pilot for the IT crowd, it was so weird.
Was it? No way.
It was so weird, but they kept Richard Ayoade in as Moss, so he came back for the American pilot. But
So
the rest of the cast had changed.
So he was still playing
He
himself.
was still he was still Moss.
Did he do an American accent?
No,
Okay.
it was the weirdest thing, honestly.
That is strange. It's like a multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really weird, but the humour just doesn't translate to
Yeah.
the US at all.
I watched the US version of Shameless,
Ugh.
and it's
Oh, no.
exactly the same story, just in a different setting. I was like, I already know what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
See, for me, The Office, because I like awkward kind of humour. I love like the peep show.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
stuff that makes me kind of anxious for the characters. But like, I thought the UK Office were okay. I thought it was all right. Obviously, a lot of people will disagree and think it was amazing, but I thought it got better when it became the American
I
Office.
prefer the
Yeah.
American one.
Like I've got I've got a Dwight Duck
Yeah.
bobblehead. I just love the characters. Like he makes it for me, but they're all so amazing in their own way.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I absolutely loved the American one. The UK one, it's awkward and it's very silent at parts. And it's
Yeah.
like, but like the other one is good. Like the US one, it's like I liked Parks and Rec, and it kind of had that same kind of vibe.
Mm.
But yeah, I loved that
Yeah.
one. It's great.
Yeah, I think if you've got a good number of killer characters as well. Like I remember, I was still at school. Like Phoenix Nights started, and,
God, yeah.
and there were so many great characters, and they'd only be in the scene for like 10 seconds, but they'd just come and say something really amazing that everyone's going to quote, and then you don't see them again for another 15 minutes. And then when they did Max and Paddy, I thought it's amusing, but it's not as good because
No.
it felt like it needed all the other parts of the formula to make it this big epic quote fest.
Yeah.
There's not as many. I mean, there's a few obviously in Max and Paddy, but there's not as many quotable moments as you've got in Phoenix Nights. And I think they spoil programs where they can sometimes pull people
With
away.
the spin-offs and stuff.
Like Friends were obviously like one of the biggest sitcoms in the world, love it or hate it. And then they thought, well, all the girls love Joey. Let's give him his own show.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie to you. I actually enjoyed Joey's spin-off.
Really?
I did.
I watched some of it, but the vibe was completely different.
Yeah.
Which I think you have to keep the vibe, but then how do you make friends with just Joey?
Joey,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because people are just going to expect the same thing, even though it's going to be a different thing. Because I know, like, Family Guy did it, didn't they, do with
Cleveland.
Cleveland show, yeah. Which I actually think that translated quite well.
Have you ever watched Friends without the laugh track?
No.
It's really awkward, isn't it?
Awkward.
Same with Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Like, they take the laugh track out, and like Raj or somebody will say a joke, and it'll be silent like that.
No.
And then
Oh,
they'll
it's
respond
weird,
because
yeah.
that's where they input the laughter.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, oh my god, that's horrible. Like, it made
Yeah.
me feel like uneasy
'Cause
watching
they
it.
very rarely film in front of live audiences anymore. So
Right.
I suppose, yeah, they have to leave that moment.
Yeah.
And
For
then,
the laugh track,
Or
yeah.
if people were laughing, they have to wait for them to stop
To
laughing
finish,
before
to-
they deliver the next line so that
Yeah.
they can still hear it.
Mad.
But oh, it's so awkward.
Don't like
yeah,
it.
no.
I know that, like, they used to do Bottom with a live show quite often, didn't they?
Really?
Yeah. That's the one with the Kidderminster one in it.
Okay.
The live one.
I like that because they'll do it as a. Obviously, if it goes wrong, they have to just carry on, but they have to but it ends up becoming running jokes. So if you mess something up, they'll kind of recall it rather than go, let's just pretend it never happened. They'll make a joke about the mess up.
Yeah, it's like
later on.
Marty Boosh did a live one, and when he was being the little pink dude, what's his name?
Oh,
Is it Tony Harrison.
Tony Harrison.
So Noel Fielding's stuck in this chair, and he's stuck, and he can't move. And
Oh,
he's
yes, I
trying to do it, and
remember
he's like,
this.
okay, I'm stuck. In character, he's like, oh, this is ridiculous. And he just owns it. And
Yeah.
you have to, yeah. But it's just hilarious. I think that's why I'd like to see something live like that. Just to see things go wrong.
It's because it's going to be different every night, isn't it? You're not going to get the same show every single
Oh, God,
night.
no. Yeah.
You could attend multiple tour shows, and there's going to be random bits where people forget the lines, or they say something wrong, or someone starts laughing,
Yeah.
or someone does something weird in the audience, and then they start responding to that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
No, I love it. I love when you've got comedians that can do a bit of crowd work. I'm not a fan of it happening all through the show. I find it
Yeah.
hard work. There's a podcast that I started listening to just before we went into the first lockdown called Have a Word podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And we came across that because we went to a comedy store in Manchester, and we found this guy was just on the bill called Adam Rowe. He was a comedian, and he was I think he's from Manchester. He's just sound, or is he? No, he's from Liverpool. I'll probably really upset him if he ever found that out. Yeah, he's from Liverpool, and he was in Manchester, and he was like, we thought, oh, he's great, so I checked him out, and then found out he was doing a podcast with this other guy called Dan Nightingale, who I'd never heard of, and I wish I did because he's hilarious, and he's a bit older than him. Their podcast has kind of grown to a ridiculous level now, but they've got a lot of friends that come on. It's just comedians after comedians all the time. So I've checked out loads of new ones because of this. Guys I would have never found without them.
Yeah.
And to be honest, a lot of them have kind of done their own little podcasts and bits since and become popular because of their podcast.
Yeah.
But there's a few of them that just only do crowd work, and they've gone massive, like filling up big venues. And people think they're great, but then there's a lot of people slagging them off in the comments and stuff, which I just think, if you don't like it, just don't
Yeah.
actually comment, you know.
But that makes them bigger, though.
It does because
It
it's
does,
the
yeah.
algorithm, as we
There we
know.
go.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. You put something on. We should all just record terrible songs for about 3 months and just get everyone to they'll probably slate it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And chat big about it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, my new song's dropped out.
Act deadly serious. I'll
Yeah.
turn up in a fur coat with like rose tinted sunglasses.
Yeah, yeah.
And yes, yeah.
I just
yeah, new
reply
album-
to
new
people
album's on the
going,
way.
"You don't know nothing, bro." Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it'll be like that sketch on SNL. Have you seen the one with Timothy Chalamet and Pete Davidson
What, the
as the
Yeet
SoundCloud
ones?
rappers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'll have to watch that.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm
What's-
more classic SNL.
Yeah. I tried to watch new SNL recently. It's not the same.
No.
Yeah, it's bad. Like it's so dry. Like the humour wise, I'm like, oh no. What have they done?
I just love when someone's starting to laugh, but
Yeah.
they're holding it in like a child in minute silence at school, you know.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because it's gone quiet and one person's gone.
Yeah.
And that's it. It sets everyone else
Yeah.
off building up.
Do you remember that? Was it Jimmy Fallon or somebody? And they had to get them to hold water in their mouth, and then they'd ask them a question, and they can't like laugh because they'd just spit water everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen those with joke challenges where people do that and take
Oh,
it
and
take
with-
it in turns.
Yeah, and then they've got the tortilla, and if they laugh, they slap you in the face with the tortilla.
Well, really?
Am I the only one that saw this?
I've
It
seen
was a
that one.
whole
Yeah.
challenge where like you both hold water in your mouth and try and make each other laugh, and if you like spit, they slap you in the face with the tortilla.
I don't remember the tortilla bit.
It wasn't for very long, to be fair.
Ah, okay.
So if you had a bit of a busy period or you were into a good book, you might have missed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it was funny. It was funny. But there was one with Kevin Hart. Was it Kevin Hart and The Rock? It was someone
They
on
did
The
those
Rock.
together,
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
they?
yeah. And like The Rock is just getting smacked in the face by Kevin Hart. You can tell he's getting pissed.
I love the visual of that friendship.
Yeah.
Just the biggest guy and the smallest guy.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Rock's diet is insane, though. Have you seen it?
I thought you were going to be like, The Rock's
No.
dying. I was like, what?
He's not dying. He's not dying. It's okay. Yeah, he eats like 3 kilos of fish a day, and like 2 kilos of chicken. Well, that's a lot of chickens.
That is. Look at all them chickens.
Yeah, somebody tried to do it, and it cost them like $3,000 for the month to do it.
He's got the money though, hasn't he?
does,
You do what
yeah.
you want. You've got certain actors and musicians, and they're in a position where like Jared Leto was like 52, but he looks 30.
Did
and
you
he's
hear
got
that Jared
his
kept Jared
abtastic.
Yeah, apparently Jared Leto had started a cult back
Oh,
in
I saw
2020.
that. Yeah, a weird cult that
Yeah.
everybody dresses in white robes and goes to this island to live
Yeah.
with him or something.
Okay.
So he became like this cult leader.
Yeah, it's really strange.
What was like the theme for it all? Then?
Him?
All right.
I think it's
Yeah.
literally like
I am the new Jesus.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And these people live there with him and worship him or something. I'm not sure. I haven't looked
It's just
too deeply
freaky.
into it.
It always makes me think of Russell Brand in Get Him to the Greek.
It's like a space Christ.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's for them to say if they think I'm like Jesus. So
Yeah, like if they really think that I'm an Egyptian space Christ, that's up to them.
see that's someone else that when he first come on the scene, I wasn't that overly keen on him because he was doing
Yeah.
Big Brother's Little Brother and he was just very shouty and I
That's
was
the
like,
first time I saw him. I was
Yeah.
like, he looks like Amy Winehouse.
and
Or
then
something. His hair was all messed up. He had the
Yeah.
tightest jeans in the world with
Yeah.
a stick. Just
they probably
pointed
went to
at
the same
people.
parties at that time as well. To be fair,
Yeah. And I was
But-
like, I don't know who this guy is, but it's a bit strange. So I didn't get him at first until he was in movies. I think that's
Get
when
Him to the Greek is the thing that kind of it won me over.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
No, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I only really liked Get Him to the Greek, and then, like, hearing all the shit that's come out about him recently, I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't like this, man. I always thought there was something about him. I'm like, you're a bit of a...
It's
You're a
weird,
bit of a
isn't it? Because I'm
creep.
like, I look at it and I think he's been spouting off a lot of political stuff for a long time, and he's trying to expose a lot of things for a long time, and then all of a sudden he's getting really kind of close, and it's getting a bit gritty. Then all of a sudden all this stuff comes out, and I'm thinking, well, it could have been because he's got that reputation, but
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
always been very kind of almost open about it. But then I think, but then is there other stuff going on in the background? But
Yeah.
then is it someone trying to
that and you.
No,
pin him down?
That and can
No,
you?
I genuinely think he's probably a bit of a sex pest. And I think he's done some bad
He's
shit.
kind of openly said he were at one point. I think
Yeah.
like Paddy McGuinness said that he was the same. He said he was just addicted and just literally
Like-
anybody, any opportunity.
Can you still cancel someone if they've changed their ways? Because people are still getting cancelled for what they did do.
It
even
depends
though
on
they're
the.
not.
I don't know. I think it depends on the severity of what was done.
So apologise for something like
And
20
B-
years later.
Yeah. And
See,
B,
like
whether or
lost
not
profits
they've-
situation. If that had not been found out until today,
Yeah.
I think it was very easy to just go cancel that band, everything about. I mean, it's not fair on the other guys, but unfortunately for them, it's.
Yeah.
They probably would never. I imagine they would probably never want to play those songs again. So,
Yeah.
No.
so I know they did do another band, didn't they? But
Yeah.
it did,
No
obviously,
Devotion.
Was it called like
No Devotion.
No Devotion?
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
is it? Yeah. Well, the last drummer they had now plays in a band called
Low Lives.
Low Lives.
With the old singer from The Defiled.
Yeah, have you ever
Oh,
heard of them?
yeah.
So they do like a grungy 90s style band now, which is really good. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
shall
very cool.
I shall check it all out.
Yeah, check it out. God, I sounded like Nadia from What We Do in the Shadows. Another one of my favourite
I
shows
do
at the
love
moment.
that. That is great.
You're looking at me like you don't know what I'm talking about.
No, there's but it's good though because there's certain bands that people mention to me at times, and it's because I might not come across them. There's so much now. It's difficult because I like I said, we'll just go through multiple playlists of just people have put together, just checking out bands, just listening to them while I'm driving around or whatever's going on, and I just and I'll try and remember them. I'll screenshot stuff, make lists of stuff, and check them out later and listen to more of their stuff. So unless something's really, really kind of grinding me, I'll not skip it because I think something else might happen here that's really good.
Yeah.
So I went to my tattooist on Friday a few days ago, and I basically she introduces me to so much new stuff. She's Polish, and I think she spent some time living in Germany. But I'd never heard of Primus until I first went to her 10 years ago. I was like, oh my god, this is like. I think probably what started my sleep paralysis, to be honest.
100%.
Yeah, no,
Music
sounds about
videos,
right.
all these like weird pig heads and those cowboys in that.
Yeah, I listened to their album called like Sizzle Fry, I think it was, and it was insanity. I was, what is this? And they're like, it's the guys that wrote South Park theme tune.
Yeah,
I was like, really? And he auditioned for Metallica.
And he was too good.
Yeah, and he had a whammy bar on his
Really?
bass. He had a whammy bar on his bass.
He is
No
the most
way.
mind-blowing bass player. I mean, he's not really. I wouldn't class him as much of a singer. He just kind of like sings through it. Yeah, the way that he sings in the South Park theme is
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
he sings
Sings
all
like
the way
that.
through. everything.
Wow.
Yeah, he's nuts.
And
He's
he-
absolute nuts, but
But he can play all this like really complicated bass stuff. Like there's just a 3-piece, aren't there? But
Yeah.
they make the biggest sound, and he puts so much. Like usually you're relying on a 3-piece. You would rely on a guitarist to make
Yeah.
like the big sounds of all the effects and stuff. He fills the spaces with so much stuff, playing these really weird shaped basses that
Yeah.
like, and they've all got like 5 and 6 strings and stuff.
Wow.
And he's mind blowing.
yeah.
But just very weird. The videos, I'm just like, how did you think of that? Like, what have you taken and seen? This guy has seen some things.
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah.
just so strange.
Well, it's like the videos by Apex Twin. Like they were just.
Oh yeah. The Alien. What was that one?
Oh God. Like I blocked them from my memory because they just are so disturbing.
Yeah, the Apex Twin one where he's superimposed his face onto like some young girls' bodies and like these schoolgirls, and they're all running around. Oh, it's terrifying. It's like things of nightmares.
Actual nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Actual nightmare fuel. And then there's that one by Sixth, and I can't remember what it's.
It looks like a Dire Straits video, and it's all like really bad animation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's this kid. It's this school kid, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he goes
Like
mad.
a catchphase screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. No, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, yeah, literally like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's that bad. And then he goes around and like murders his teacher, or no, sleeps with his teacher in it. Then murders her dad or something. And
I don't know. I just.
It's It's
something
nuts.
I know I never wanted to watch after the first time.
That was my first introduction to Sixth. I was like, wow, what the hell was that? I quite like them now. Like,
Oh yeah,
but
I like the
I think
music, but
the video like kind of
Oh.
like put me off to begin with.
yeah.
Yeah, she also showed me on Friday a band called the Tiger Lilies.
Okay.
I don't know where they're from, but the guy sings like he's from Monty Python.
Oh.
It's that kind of he's not the Messiah kind of squeaky. He's really like squeaky, but and he kind of like paints his face a bit like a mime, and
Oh, yeah,
and they
yeah.
wear all like really old style clothing, and it's all
Wow.
just really weird. Like all the videos are just like zoomed in on the faces in the dark, like with one light on them, pulling weird faces and having effects moving it around, and or zooming on his eyeball or filmed upside down and
nuts.
just all pointing up the nose and stuff, just like really weird stuff. And I'm like,
Oh.
where? Like we film stuff when we film in music videos, and we're trying to like, well, we need to do this because we need it to like, we need to try and look kind of cool, but we don't want it to look like it's just been shot in someone's bedroom and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And we don't want. I mean, we some bands will like do acting in theirs and stuff like that. I'm not really keen on ever me doing that type of thing because I just don't think I can do it.
See, I'm the
like-
opposite. Like, I've always wanted to do a video where all of us, like, full on went and acted through it. But again, I think that was me growing up with, like, My Chemical Romance videos where
Yeah.
they were so cinematic and, like, they would always play different parts and act different parts within the videos. And I think that's probably where my perspective on that is. But I'd love to do something like that.
What, like a short film?
Kinda, yeah. But
I do
without
like it.
But without it being too long-winded, because I feel like some people just take it and, like, all of a sudden you've got, like, a 20-minute video and people just don't have the attention span.
Yeah. See, we're not against that. It's just purely because I don't know if you've ever seen us try and do an announcement video. We're the most awkward band ever. It's awful. They once did one where two or three of the guys had filmed. I wasn't there. I think I was still on my way, and they were just filming a video to say we're on this way to do this weekend, blah blah blah, and all that. It was the most awkward video ever, and they all said it themselves. Like they were all like standing around and twitching, and it's like it got near the end, and they just didn't say like a sign off or say thanks or see you there or anything like that or let's rock or whatever. They just kind of went,
It just ended.
and then it ended, and I thought, what are you doing? Delete that.
Yeah. Oh, that's
But we get awkward with that kind of stuff, though.
We have to do so many takes. We end up putting the outtakes on because
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
funnier and more interesting than the
think-
actual video.
I remember I had one time I was like, right, this is going to be great. I'm going to be really confident. I'm going to review this bit of gear that this company had sent me. Every time I tried to open the box, it made a Chewbacca noise. I was like,
You should acknowledge that and just laugh at it.
yeah, I did. I put it at the end. I couldn't. Yeah.
It's so awkward. But I think I've gotten better with it, with being so prevalent on social media now that I
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah, because I used to film you and you used to go, I feel stupid. It's like, just tell them where we are. What city are we in?
And then you have to have it written down in
Yeah.
front of you, don't you? Like,
Yeah, then I
Yeah.
asked the other
Cue
guys,
cards.
and they run off. Like they're like, no. I'm like, okay, never mind.
Yeah, no. So it's something I've had to get better at. But in the beginning, because it's just like your mind goes blank. You can't think of anything to say at all. And that would be me. Like, I'm great. I'm so confident on stage. But as soon as someone's like, you've got to speak to camera, you've got to speak to this, like, crowd of people, I'm like, what?
Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Total stage
it's
fright.
almost like the less people there is, the more nerve-wracking it is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you're the same, but like, we played Sophie stage at Bloodstock,
Yeah.
and that I felt very comfortable playing to that size
Yeah.
audience. But then if you said to me, can you just do a quick presentation from this textbook about first aid to 10 people? I would be sweating before I even got there.
No, I'm the same. No, 100%.
Even with like playing to smaller crowds and stuff, I think it's because there's less opinions in the room. I think
Yeah.
for me, I'm like more people, more chance that somebody's gonna like us.
Yeah.
But if you're in a small crowd, there's a chance that nobody's gonna like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's when you're in a smaller crowd, you can almost see everybody in the room individually, and that is freaky in itself. Whereas when it's a big crowd, you kind of get lost in, and you're not really seeing faces, and you can just kind of play to the crowd. Whereas if I'm focusing on like every individual person in the room, going, what are they thinking? What are they doing? Are they talking to their friend? Do they look like they like us? Like,
So you'll be, because I didn't realise that you did like clubs and things like that. So
I do,
you'll be well trained on dealing with an audience that needs a kick up the backside.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's,
Because they almost look there, just look at you like as if to say, "Come on, then, impress me." And you
Yeah.
can do something that sounds pretty good in one place, and they'll be going crazy. And then you can do this exact same thing the night after somewhere else, and they don't even clap when you're finished.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. But then they'll come up to you afterwards and be like, "Oh, that were amazing. That was so good." And I'm like,
There were a touch of Yorkshire in that.
I thought
I know.
that as well.
She's
It's
been up Leeds
because-
or something.
There's some-
yeah,
Something-
it's
something in
because
the
I've been
banter.
doing the working men's clubs up north, so they're all like, "Oh, you were amazing," like, and
I don't know what part of Yorkshire that is. but-
Luckily, he doesn't get offended.
no, I know it's a good job, really. It's a good job, really. But it's the bingo
Yeah,
call.
it's pretty much the only accent you can get away with doing on a podcast and not get in trouble, to be honest.
Yeah.
Listen, the white people's accents, you're fine.
Yeah.
You can't venture outside of white people's accents.
See, I had a friend years ago, and it was a bit difficult because every time he tried to do a Geordie accent, he sounded Indian.
Oh no.
Like, don't do it in an interview
Yeah.
or on a camera.
I find that a lot of people end up doing like an Indian accent when they're trying to do Welsh.
Yeah, I
get that.
Yeah. It's a hard accent to try and get down.
It
I think.
is.
You have to kind of knuckle down on a few key phrases
Yeah.
and build on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I remember we had a Welsh teacher in our high school, and she was the one that they picked to do sex ed, and it was a nightmare. Can you imagine all the kids like, she just said pubic hair, and then we just like, Miss, what happens with your poobs?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was chaos.
Kids are awful, aren't they?
Kids are awful. We were assholes.
Yeah, oh, it's so good though.
It's like they're awful to each other, but there's certain teachers they leave themselves wide open.
Oh
Don't
my
they?
god, we had a history teacher who used to get bullied. I mean, bullied. I remember one time, like, the kids had actually locked her in a cupboard.
That was our RE
Yeah.
teacher.
No way,
Yeah,
really?
he got locked in the cupboard multiple times.
Yeah. And she'd just cry. She wouldn't do anything. She'd just cry, and
He'd
everyone
punch and
would.
kick the door and just keep shouting, "Let me out!"
No.
over and over again.
That's it.
You were quite an old guy as well. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel awful now, but
You used to go,
Yeah, I know.
you used to go through our teachers' like cupboards. Like I remember she was like, "Right, I'll be back in a minute." I was like, "What's in that room behind her?"
check a drawer,
So
check a
we
drawer.
went- so go in and look and like, oh my god, no, what have you found? I was like, I'll bring it out. Brought it out. It's like a pickled baby pig
Oh my god.
in a jar.
That is not what I expected.
Yeah,
you to
yeah.
Oh my
No.
god.
I was not expecting to see it either. I thought, let's see what's in there.
you-
Pickled baby pig, pickled brains.
That's not something I'd expect to find in the majority of places I would
Yeah.
walk
Yeah,
into.
right.
It was horrifying. I don't know why it was there.
Oh my
They
God.
never brought it out ever. So I thought, I can't wait till
As a
they bring it out.
history teacher, see, I'd be if it were like a biology teacher, I'd be
You
like,
could
oh,
almost-
maybe
yeah.
that's for an experiment or something, or it's
Yeah.
a result of an experiment.
Yeah.
How long can a baby pig last in a pickle jar?
Yeah, maybe it was just like a random stock room. I don't know, but
Who knows? Did you guys ever have like a rumour about a teacher that was just like infamous throughout the whole school?
a rumor.
A rumour. So we had a French teacher, and everybody used to like everybody started this rumour, and I don't know whether or not this was ever true, but apparently she used to be a French porn star. But
Was she French?
she was no, she wasn't.
But
She
in
but,
France.
wasn't
but she could do
French.
the accent.
But so so that was like our rumour was this teacher was a French porn star, but no one actually knew whether it was true.
No, everyone always said that the history teacher was a paedophile, but we found out 2 years ago it was actually the maths teacher.
Oh, the maths teacher went. That's it, mate.
Yeah, he appeared on one of the predator catchers on a live. We were like, oh my god!
No.
See, two of my PE teachers got caught having sex on the trampolines at school.
I remember you telling me this.
Yeah. So, like this one kid thought he'd just go for a wander around school at night. He thought it'd be spooky or cool. He's like, yeah, let's have a look. Oh, this is weird being at school in the dark. So there's a light on in
Two
there.
things bouncing up and down 10 foot in
Yeah.
air.
So they're there just going at it. So he's there filming it.
No.
Yeah, he filmed it. And obviously, when you film stuff at school, they kind of send it around a bit, don't they?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So like, where did you find that? And then obviously rumour got around there quick that there's a video of it as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
are they still working?
I don't know.
In
to
the
be fair.
educational services.
I don't think so. They were definitely gone after that.
Oh yeah. Jeez.
New entries for the Olympic trampoline.
Yeah. Fair play though.
That's
If
a talent.
If the opportunity's there, why not? That looks fun.
Dangerous.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say that's an injury waiting to happen right there.
Live life on the edge.
Oh god.
Choke me with that school tie. Yeah.
Oh my
See,
god.
that's not something that I've. When people go, oh, I love a schoolgirl outfit. You know, certain people like certain uniforms. Women like a policeman or a fireman. Schoolgirl, I just don't get it.
No, it's weird.
As an adult, I'm like,
I think it was mainly a Japanese thing, wasn't it? It's
Yeah.
Like, no.
well, yeah, because that's the like over here they'll go, you can't wear trousers that are too tight. They've got to, or they can't show things can't show off figures and stuff like that
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
shape, and you can't wear makeup to this degree and blah blah blah. But over there they're like, yeah, 3-inch miniskirt, knee-high socks.
Yeah.
With little tassels on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then you've got inspectors walking around just going, oh, I like what you've done here.
Yeah. You imagine, I want you to
no,
dress
it's
up as an
weird.
ice cream man. It'd be so nice.
I bet there's got to be some weird
For everything.
Yeah,
fetishes out there.
unlikely sexual outfits, lollipop man.
Well, there used to be like one of those TV shows late at night, like I think it was like Sex Etc or something. Do you ever remember seeing those?
Yeah, when you're like all you kind of like main programs had finished and then this come on. I'm like, what was the other one?
Eurotrash.
That's the one.
I think it was one of those
What
two.
that shouldn't have, I mean, obviously we probably shouldn't have been up watching it at the time, but I was thinking that's completely like warped what I thought is supposed to happen in life when you get older, and then when you get older you go, oh no, it doesn't really, unless you unless you live in some kind of like weird place in some weird relationship,
Yeah.
which they do exist obviously, but
Yeah.
that's not normal.
It was one of those, but this guy really loved being like rolled up into a rug and stood on, and he was like, oh yeah, he loved it.
I get it to a point because if you've
You
got
get the rug thing.
No.
She just loves a hug.
Yeah, right. No,
I love me a rug.
but if you've got like a really bad back, like
I don't think that's what he wanted.
no, I know, but like for
It's not
non-
a spa
No,
treatment.
but like for non-sexual purposes, how nice would that be? Like just have someone crack your back, like.
Yeah, but he wanted to be rolled up in a rug and stood on by a woman in stilettos. He's like, if he could rub his knees underneath that rug.
I've just got the shiver. Then it's the guys that go kick me in between the legs or
Yeah.
stand on it all in stilettos and stamp on it. I'm like, how are you even tolerating
The
that?
amount
Yeah.
of messages I've had in my DMs of people are like, "I'll pay you to."
Oh, I
kick
forgot
me
we
in
could
the
ask you
balls."
about this because you're female. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's talk about
like, the amount-
messages.
Yeah.
The amount of guys that I've had in my DMs who are like, "I pay you to kick me in the balls," and I'm like, "Absolutely not. That's weird."
How is that not like
I'll kick
tempting?
him. How much are they charging?
Oh.
How much are you charging?
I don't know.
I'll kick him in balls.
Where do you want? Do you want me to like put my hands on your shoulders and go for it, or do you want me to front foot or up? Which way? Like, I've got a menu.
Listen, I also don't trust my own aim.
Oh, that was me shit. I want my money back.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. But I
You
also
used to
feel
do-
like maybe I'd injure myself.
You used to do karate. How can
I
you have
did.
bad aim?
I'm also very uncoordinated, so
Go on. So kick in the balls. What else?
kicking the balls. I've had people asking for my stockings,
Okay.
like used stockings.
Like your Christmas one, like where all your presents were in there. Oh, can I have your used?
Jesus
Can you leave the wrapping in there as well?
Still smells of candy cane.
Oh my god. I've had guys in my DMs that have had giant women fetishes. And I'm like, can you talk to me like I'm a really tiny person? Like,
Oh my god, you're so small. You
Like,
could fit in a Kinder
yeah.
egg.
Or people like,
Is it stuff like that?
I think I had one request that was like, I want you to imagine that you're throwing me down the toilet, and I'm like, this is weird. Like, I'm a really tiny person, and I want you to
Like,
pull me
Honey, I
down the
Shrunk the
toilet. And I'm
Kids.
like,
What was that program back in the day? Was it like Land of the Giants or something?
I don't know.
That's
But yeah, a giant
okay.
woman fetish is like, it's a thing
That's amazing.
that I
Yeah.
didn't know about until people were in my DMs being weird about it.
See, I've had my eyes open to a lot of this stuff because when I was 21, I ended up going out with an adult actress that had just coming out of the industry.
Got
We've got
ya.
a lot of friends who obviously still doing a lot of stuff, and obviously we'd kind of like hang out and have a drink with them, and they'd tell us the stuff that they were doing or what they'd been paid to do, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh yeah, I did this, you know, there's like those giant teddy bears you can win at the fair that
Yeah.
just don't fit in the car. They'd be like, they'll just strap a dildo to one of those and have an hour on it, and
No.
people are paying to watch this, and I'm like, okay,
That's
right, that's an
weird.
interesting one. But the things we were talking about, like the weird guys that want all this like strange stuff doing to them, I was like, but I don't understand why. I don't understand what they're getting out of it. The one there, she had to go to his house, and apparently was laid on his living room floor, which I'm hoping after I tell you this next bit that it wasn't carpet. He'd got like a leathery mask on, so she couldn't see where we were. And the agreement was that the cash was on the dining room table, so she'd go in, she'd count the cash, put it in her pocket, and then basically open her bowels on his face,
Oh.
No.
wipe it, and go. And I can't remember how much it were, like 300-400 quid or something. A few
What's
minutes worth.
more impressive is she can do it on command, because
You'd have to time it, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
3 coffees, aren't we?
The night
Yeah.
before. Oh, I really need a toilet. Well, go then. I can't. I'm saving it.
See, I'm glad I'm not a woman and not got the powers to be able to do that, because every time I would go to the toilet, I'd be thinking, oh, it's 300 quid
down
wasted.
the drain.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally down
down
the
the
drain.
toilet.
No way.
Yeah, I just like what's more impressive about people that do that kind of things is being able to go on command, because I would not be able to.
You'd get shy, would you?
Yeah, not that I would ever want to do that.
Sorry, I could only
like
do it at home.
ever. But like, how? I don't understand. I mean, fair play.
I think if you give yourself the option to not do it on, where you just have to
But
go.
then that's just like super painful. Like,
It's probably
why
what they
would
like,
you-
so you never know.
I think for that kind of money, you could afford to cut out an afternoon to be in the vicinity. So
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
right,
True.
I'll let you know. I'm 5 minutes.
yeah.
I'm on my way.
Leave your door unlocked. Quickly.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, loads of cash, some baby wipes.
You wait there. Give me a few hours. Up to 24 hours.
I'm dead sure there'll be weirder stuff than that.
Mm.
We one of them, she didn't do it, but one of them got the offer to. I'm not going to name it actually, but I'll tell you what I'll describe it. It was a website where people would basically vomit and shit on each other,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and they'd get like 10 grand for about 4 days work.
Oh no.
Which is obviously like a massively kind of dangerous situation, having that kind of stuff going all over you, because then they
Yeah.
wouldn't just do it, they'd kind of like play around in it.
No.
Yeah, it was like, like I was saying
no.
about videos going around school. There's a girl called Bathtub Girl.
Right.
Not
And-
heard
Oh,
of this.
I don't think
And
I
she
want
is
to know.
in a bathtub upside down, and like she literally sprays herself.
Just a
No.
fountain.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
poo fountain. And it was like always one kid with those videos on his.
See,
I
when
did
I
not
first
need that
discovered
visual.
that website existed, I would then, at the band I was in at the time, I would, me and my friend, because my friend Joe was the sound engineer for it, and we were on a tour, I can't remember where we were, but we'd got like a day off, and we were all chilling, and I said to Joe, put it up on your iPad, and I said, we're going to show them all one by one, but I'm going to film the reactions.
No.
So I think one of them might actually still be on my YouTube channel, it must be from a long time ago, maybe between 2010, 2012, something like that. It's just hilarious. Like, but it was just, I found it funnier just looking back at it now. how funny I found it while watching their reaction, because I've just got the girliest laugh, uncontrollable, because I think it's hilarious. It's like, because there's this 30-second preview and they're going, "Oh my god!" Because I'm not preempted. I didn't tell them anything what were coming. So I was like, "I've got something to show you." No, I probably thought it was going to be a new song or something.
Oh yeah, like, check this out. This is going to be really cool.
Yeah. Oh well, that's shit.
Literally.
God, you dare get any ideas?
Oh yeah, I've got loads.
No, I know.
You could fund some massive PR campaigns for the future.
Oh, I don't trust you.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I don't think I could bring myself to do it, just to watch it myself.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, I remember at school. Blue waffle was the thing.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
At school, you could print off a picture in a different classroom from the library.
Yeah.
So-
Send them off to a different
So
part of the
I sent loads around everywhere. Then there's like an assembly about it, saying like,
Doesn't it say they've got records of who's printed what though?
I don't know. I don't think we had a login. I just printed it off in different classrooms. And they're like,
my
people
God.
got to stop printing off this blue waffle. So the science block, English,
Oh my God.
maths.
Blue waffle.
What's this?
Oh my god. I remember meat spin was a thing as well.
Oh yeah, one of my friends purposely left that open to see how many he could get.
We had fatpie.com. I don't know if you remember that. It's where salad fingers and all
Yeah,
those
yeah,
type of
yeah.
people
Yeah.
come along. And so they were just like the most weird, pointless videos. And you didn't even laugh sometimes. You just watched it. And I just
yeah.
thought, I don't know why I've watched it, but I'm going to watch the next one now. And like, I think Devo would come around on there, if you remember Devo.
Yeah.
They've recently only just found out that the guy who plays Devo is Devo. He was a school teacher.
Yeah.
And he's just got sacked or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. But that's years ago now. How did
know.
anyone find it? Hey sir, were you Devo? Short dickhead.
It was great though, and people used to think he were real. He were like an Ali G Borat character, weren't he?
Yeah.
But weren't he from like Doncaster or something?
Yeah, there was another guy that
You
used
sent
to...
him to Leeds Festival.
Yeah, it used to be a guy who used to wear like a Manchester United t-shirt and have a bag on his head. And he was dead northern, and he used to have like a pitchfork or whatever. And he used to just walk around like taunting people, and people used to knock him out all the time, just like, fuck off, you idiot.
You sure this wasn't just a fever dream of yours?
I'll find it later, trust me. My friend loved all these like fat pie things and Devo and Toast Boy and stuff like that.
Toast
Been the most weird things. Can you remember the one where they just keep saying badger over a dance beat, and they
Yeah.
keep
Yeah,
all
yeah,
squatting?
Mushroom.
Yeah.
Mushroom.
Yeah.
Like, I worked with kids in care for about for about 4 years of the 6 years that I worked in care, and
Yeah.
I'd like to talk because they'd talk about like all these the reels and the trends and what's going on right now, and then I'd tell them about stuff from when I were a kid, and they'd look at me like I were an alien. I mean, even just describing what we watched it on, turning on this like fat power PC and then going on the internet and it's making the dial-up noise and it's all screeching and beeping,
Yeah.
and they just look at me like, what the hell are you on about? Like I was from 50s or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what was it like in the war?
Yeah,
I know, yeah.
You start to sound old because everything's moved on so quick now, though.
Yeah.
It's like, I used to have, if I wanted to print a picture off when I was a kid, I had to wait till my mum wasn't on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what?
Yeah,
The
to
internet
get-
wasn't just there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, now you can just hold your thumb on it on your phone. You can send it to a printer from your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's crazy.
but obviously before all that, it was kind of wind on cameras.
My God,
So you never.
yeah.
We were coming back from. I think we'd been up to like Skara to see my grandparents. We'd stopped off in York, had something to eat, and we thought, oh, I like that bit where it's like a big river canal. It always floods there, doesn't it? It's got like lots of nice restaurants and bars. We're like, oh, we'll sit out on this little decking next to water and we'll just have something to eat before we drive back. It's only like an hour back to Barnsley. These two girls were next to us, and one of them stood with the water in the background with all the little twinkly fairy lights on this like pagoda thing, and she's literally, her friend's taking pictures, and I'm not exaggerating with this, 20 to 25 minutes later, the photo has not been, that situation's not been completed. They're still taking the picture, and she's checking them, going, no, and then redoing her hair and her makeup and all this stuff, and I was like, we just take a fucking photo and that's it. Oh, that's on
No.
Snapchat now.
I know.
I might take 2 or 3 in case someone blinks.
Yeah,
I
if
know.
I had one of those like disposable ones, most of the time it'd get them developed, spend all that time, and it's just loads of my thumb over the lens.
Yeah, I know.
You're like,
I think influencers these days, if it was just disposable, they would be horrified by disposable cameras because you didn't know what this damn thing looked like until you got the photos back.
Yeah.
You haven't got a
My
clue.
my first ever band photo shoot was done from a like a disposable wine
No
bottle
way.
camera. Yeah, I've got a picture somewhere. I think it's in my attic. It's like a framed one, and we're just in like a pay and display car park in Barnsley. And everyone's all like leaning, like looking in different directions. No one dressed like they're in the same band.
Yeah, that's how we started with it. We all look like we're in
We all look like
bands.
we're in different bands, yeah.
I always love that when you get someone who's got someone's. It's almost like a metal version of the Spice Girls, because you'll get someone who's dressed really chavvy, and then you've got one who's
Yeah.
like full on goth. They're like 80s goth.
Yeah, that's it. We had like ones where you'd have like a studded bra on, and I'd have like studded jackets on. Then one guy would have like a ocean T-shirt, which is just full print of the beach with the ocean,
I know.
Los Angeles written across it. Looked like it was funny.
Oh no, it
But,
was bad. And then we went completely the opposite direction where everyone had like a uniform and we all looked a little bit too...
Yeah, well, I got car spray
Coordinated.
paint and just spray painted everyone's clothes. Like, give
Yeah.
me some out and get car spray paint.
Yeah, I were looking at like getting just one of my black denim jackets and just mucking it up a bit and just.
Yeah, that's
Making a
all I
mess.
did. Just sprayed it.
No,
and then,
no.
And then when we played on stage, my hair melted into my jacket because the car paint got wet and stuck my hair down. I was like, yeah, uh-oh. Shit.
So you guys, I've obviously checked out lots of your videos and stuff and seen it over years and things like that, and obviously see what you post on Facebook. You guys, you wear some pretty cool stuff. You've got some really unique stuff. I've no idea where you get it from because I've never like when I play a show, I'm just like, oh, there's a guy with a beanie hat or a snapback on, and he's got a leather jacket on and some skinny jeans and probably a black t-shirt and probably some Vans or Converse.
Yeah.
I just look like everybody else. But your wardrobe must be massive.
It is, yeah, it is. But that's mainly because I'm ADHD and I can never decide what person I'm going to be from day to day. And so sometimes I'll just have this mad idea. I'm like, oh, what about this? What about this? I could do this. And then it was like, Bloodstock Festival, it's like, what about feathers? And then, like, it just, my brain just is...
Goth farmer.
Yeah, like I could just... It's like my latest thing is like leather chaps, so I look like Christina Aguilera from the 90s. God knows what the next thing is going to be. I went through my pink phase when I had my pink and black hair. Like, everything had to be pink. And so, yeah, it depends what person I am from day to day, to be honest.
And you have a few friends that make those type of things, don't you?
Yeah.
I were going to ask because I thought there's some custom stuff going on here.
Yeah, there is some custom, but some stuff I just get from like Amazon and stuff and just like customize it myself. Like when we were on the Scarlet Riot tour, like I was just like, I want to wear a shirt and I'm gonna buy it from Primark and I'm just gonna dye it pink because I can.
Oh, is that the one we played at? Isn't
That
it?
would be the one, yeah, when we were on tour together.
yeah.
Just
Fun
pink
times.
Primark t-shirt.
Yeah, that's when that's when we were in my pink phase. So
Yeah, everything had to be pink, didn't
Yeah.
it? Lights, the lot. Like, get these pink lights. Oh, that's cool. What about that? But in pink. Right, okay, yeah. So when you dyed your hair, we're not doing orange.
yeah, they refuse.
Everything's not going to be orange now. You just know that. We're not going to just make everything orange.
Yeah, no, they refused.
Right, so you're back to the drawing board then on
Yeah.
clothing and designs.
I don't know about colours now. I think we just stuck to pink now. We're like, oh, we'll leave it now. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Although there's a bit of a clash there, like especially bright pink with ginger, I just don't feel like it works anymore.
Is that right? That's great.
We're gonna have an argument on the way back home now. I can feel it.
We're not doing orange or yellow.
So
No, yellow
what's
would
on
be
the
nice.
schedule then? What's the plans? What's coming up? Things you can reveal? 'Cause I know some people can't always... You're
No,
always in
I
a position where
know.
you're kind of in talks with things and can't always
So
tell people.
most of it now is obviously we released a song Findamond out, and we're literally gonna do the next single. Just doing a bunch of singles now, music videos for all of them. So we're just finishing off the, I guess the writing stage of it all. So mainly that. Pick which one we want to do next.
Yeah.
And then some of the other stuff, gig-wise, we can't mention.
Yeah, we actually can't.
Yeah. It's so frustrating, isn't it?
I
Because
know,
you do
I
interviews
know.
sometimes with people. And it's like, I know that this is more of just a casual chat, but when you do actual official interviews, people are just thinking, I've asked them a load of questions and they told me nothing.
Yeah. No. It's partially because we haven't had any sort of like 100% confirmation on it yet.
Yeah, like things have moved and things have changed, and you're like, okay, yeah.
So-
We're waiting for other people to be able to put it together, finish it off.
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
can be like, these are the exact dates.
But we are looking at getting out on tour at some point this year.
Yeah, and then the rest is like lots of new music, as regular as we can, really, because obviously the new format is to kind of mainly slap out singles and videos rather than albums and stuff. It seems to be like...
That's kind of where the industry's going right now.
Yeah, so just slapping out a bunch of songs.
I mean, people are still releasing albums, but yeah, there are a lot of artists, they don't even bother having an album. They just basically just upload. Some of them don't even sell physical copies anymore. They just think, well, I can record in my own home setup or wherever it is and just dish out as many singles as they can every 6 weeks.
Yeah, it seems
Stay
like
relevant.
it's the bigger, older bands or larger bands that do albums now. It's kind of like a bunch of bands will do a bunch of singles, they maybe slap them together to make an EP afterwards with 2 extra songs on it or something. And then like some of the bigger bands go, album, but because they don't necessarily need anybody to know who they are because they're already huge.
Yeah.
See, we're old school. We've just done an album. I think it's got 14 tracks on it.
But it's like what you say about Sleep Token. They literally bang out songs every like couple of weeks or months or whatever.
Yeah.
Just slap it all across, fill it out, I guess.
It's good to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking
Content
of
is
songs,
king.
do you remember, Matt, in lockdown when we were meant to be doing...
Yes, I was going to mention this to you because there's a lot of people. Obviously, well, no one knows we recorded a cover with FAHRAN, which we'd never done before, and we were like, I think it'd be cool to have like a duet thing. We'll get a female vocal, and you came to mind straight away. You were doing loads of covers at the time, weren't you? You were recording stuff, and we sent it, and then when we got it all together, the guys were like, don't like the production on that, I don't like the recording on that part, and they want to re-record all the instruments on it. I actually mentioned it probably a couple of weeks ago because we've been putting our plan together for out the rest of this year for kind of who's doing what. We've got this big spreadsheet that's just literally working out things for singles, PR, dates, different deadlines for all the usual stuff and all the bits that come with it, music videos that are being shot and when the album's going to drop and when we're going to actually release all the information about it. And I mentioned it, I says, so what we're doing with that then? And the guys were like, well, we'll re-record this part and blah, blah, blah and all that. So I think they're going to re-record it. Because I said, I don't want to say what it is because...
No, I know. But it was good.
I thought it sounded really cool. I mean, I was happy with it as is. But even Jake, to be fair, since he's done the mixing and the mastering on in the last few months for the new FAHRAN album, I was like, okay, his skills have got even better. Because I mean, it was good before, but the stuff that he's done on this new one, I'm like,
crazy.
Can't wait to release it now. So... yeah, he wants to kind of redo some of that, so I think it will be a bit of a standalone little single at some point.
Yeah, sweet.
Who knows? Could have some kind of AI generated video for all we know.
Replace your vocals with the AI version.
Yeah, well that's it. We've got a vocals now. We can just do as many duets as we want.
God damn it!
Just sign this here. Yeah. Right, well, I think we're going to be approaching the end of this show, but I always like to ask people at the end, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh, my God.
Oh,
I love how this stumps people.
I know, I hate it.
You're just thinking about all the mistakes and you're like...
everything.
I don't think I stopped making them either.
No, I know.
Every time I say it, the faces go... Like, the eyes go wide every time I mention it to somebody.
Ooh...
I don't think I'd change much, to be fair. I've had bad decisions with women, but mainly that.
Haven't we all?
But other than that, I guess, like, I don't know. Wouldn't be me otherwise, would I?
No.
Yeah.
I think don't mine would be kind of like don't doubt yourself so much. Like, I'm such an anxious person, and like I'm so in my head about everything. I think it would kind of be like, no, like, have faith in your own abilities. Like, you're good at what you do. Like, stop freaking yourself out over the little things. Like, everything's gonna be fine. So that'd be my big thing, because I'm even still, like, I'm very much an anxious person, bit of an anxious wreck at some points, but yeah, that'd probably be mine.
Yeah, mine will just be like, don't eat that chili sauce, that's way too hot, you're going to feel that tomorrow. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Otherwise, I have no idea.
Don't eat that sausage and fall off the bar stool.
Oh, yeah, that will be one. Wait for the food to cool down before you eat it.
Oh, here's a story. So, back when...
Just to end it off.
Here's a story, yeah, I know. So, I don't know how many people know this, but, like, a long time ago, Naill and I used to be together as a couple. And back when we were still together, like, he'd come over to mine for food sometimes, and my mum had cooked this meal, and it was sausages and something. Or was it toad in the hole?
I don't know,
something like that.
I remember going, ooh, sausage.
Yeah, and so... he took a bite of this sausage that was still, like, piping hot. Took a bite of this sausage. Next thing you know, he just, like, went down like a ton of bricks, just passed out on
like,
the floor.
I literally bit the end of this sausage, and then I was like, oh, that was hot. Oh, that burn's going down. Oh, I feel funny. And then...
just went down like a sack of shit.
Woke up, egg on my head, like a literal, like, lump. She's there crying, everyone's screaming. I was like, oh. So,
well, yeah, because my mum was like, call an ambulance. So here I am, like, they just picked up and they were like, no, I'm on emergency. And then mum was like, don't worry, it's fine. And so I had to just put the phone down on this poor woman.
Do you know how many,
never mind.
Do you know how many times I used to use that story in, like, job interviews to be like, icebreaker? Oh, tell us something interesting about yourself. Oh, I don't really want to go and say, like, oh, I play music in a band, because people are like, ooh, do you? That's fancy. And stuff like that. So I'd be like, yeah, so, well, the only thing to knock me out is a sausage. If you want to know further, I'll speak to you after. Yeah, still have not been knocked out, except for that sausage. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I wouldn't eat the sausage. I'd wait for it to cool down. Yeah. That was a good time.
So I'm greedy. I will, rather than wait 1.5 minutes for something to cool, I will just annihilate the roof of my mouth.
Yeah, that was it. I was like, I'm starving. My mouth could take it, but when it...
Your body just couldn't.
If something's too hot or cold on the way down there...
It's horrible, isn't it? Yeah, it just knocked me out. I fainted. It was mad. Absolute madness.
Wow, that's powerful sausage.
Yeah.
I know. If only I could find a man with a powerful sausage.
Well, I have to say at the same time, congratulations, because you've got this far throughout an episode without a break in the middle of it.
Oh.
Wow.
Like, you are literally coming up to about, maybe coming nearly 3 hours, 2 hours 45. And most people, they have to have a moment.
Yeah.
No, listen, I've been holding on to this wee for about 2 hours.
Yeah, I could have pissed 2 hours ago.
Yeah. And I'm, like, desperate for the toilet now, but I'm like, listen, we'll persevere.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'll probably do in future is just change that sofa to a leather one so it can be wiped down, or put some plastic on it like an old person.
Yeah.
I should have just bought some Tenor Lady with me. It would have solved all of my problems.
Yeah, I think I'll just get one of those catheters and just
Siphon it out.
Little tubes.
pour it back into the Fanta can.
I've got. I think it was on not the last episode, the one before. He would often do a wee into a pint pot in the dressing room because he couldn't bother to go to the toilet if it didn't have a toilet built into it, and just put it on the side, but it looked like lager.
No.
He even had a head on it.
Oh no!
So yeah, you'd always put your hand on a pint and go, "Oh, that's warm."
Don't want
Should probably leave that.
Don't want a
alone.
warm beer.
Lovely, lovely. Well, thank you very, very much.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
I hope you've enjoyed yourselves.
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
yeah, it's been wicked.
We've obviously chat a load of bollocks.
We
but
have, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
We go off on tangents quite a bit.
Yeah, it's not like a solid theme. It's just everything all at once.
Oh yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. For the ones listening, you've been listening to Chloe and Naill from Sister Shotgun. My name's Matt Black. We'll see you again soon.
But we're...
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.